Well, that was perfect. You had the emotional scenes at Anfield last night. Diogo Jota, who his connections with the North East, his first game in England was actually against North East opposition for Wolves against Middlesbrough in 2017. A season that culminated in a 3-0 defeat for Wolves here at the Stadium of Light that season. But by then, Diogo Jota was a championship title winner. And wonderful observation from everybody inside the stadium for that silence. And now they find their voices in the atmospheric Stadium of Light here on Wearside. Pat Nevin.
Yeah, the build-up has been perfect. I was going to say perfectly orchestrated, but it wasn't. It was very natural as well. Now there was a beautiful moment of silence for everybody in the stadium. Well done.
This is the first of 209 Premier League commentaries, more than ever before, on 5 Live, Sports Extra and BBC Sounds. And we're underway with West Ham United playing from left to right as we look. And Sunderland in their red and white striped shirts and black shorts straight away have to defend a high ball that goes forward. As for West Ham, well, they really do need to improve after what was a rather underwhelming start last season under Graham Potter.
Yes, and the end of the season was kind of strange as well, because I think it was 16 matches at the end. I think they only won 4 of them. However, in all those 16 matches, they only lost by a single goal when they lost. It was very, very tight all the time. They're not far away, West Ham.
Early goals in the Football League. Grimsby Town lead Newport County by 1-0. Barnet 0, Walsall 1, and there's been an early goal too at Hillsborough. Mike Miney.
Less than 90 seconds gone. Manhurst put it in for Stoke City to give them the lead inside the 18-yard box. Fired it home amongst the chorus of Wednesday whistles. They're protesting against the owner in the opening 5 minutes, and they've been asked to stop by the PA. Wednesday 0, Stoke City 1.
It is the usual goal service on a Saturday afternoon. But this season, and in fact for the next 4 years, you're going to have a choice of listening on a Saturday afternoon, because 5 Live's still the home of Premier League football on the radio. But for the next 4 years, with more Premier League commentaries than ever before, not only will we offer you the goal service on 5 Live, but on Sports Extra we have an alternative commentary, which is Tottenham against Burnley. And keeping an eye on that one is John Southall.
Well, Tottenham have come flying out of the traps. Tottenham 0, Burnley 0, but Lewis Bergvall on the right of the 6-yard box, denied by Dubravka. Tottenham 0, Burnley 0.
Ball stopped from Fulcrook, and Sunderland give it away rather cheaply. And this now is with Rodriguez in the midfield. Spins out low towards Wan-Bissaka. 2 minutes in. West Ham United looking to try and take that quick throw. Ronaldo was the left back who was quick to try and snuff out the threat by Wan-Bissaka. West Ham playing with 3 at the back. You're going to see Wan-Bissaka get forward, and in particular Malik Diouf loves to get forward there. One of their debutants, they signed him from Slavia Prague for £19 million, is in the shadows of the main stand. The ball with Wan-Bissaka, touched back by Ward-Prowse, and goes all the way back to the goalkeeper Hermansen.
Just interesting to see the way Sunderland line up here, and it looks very much like a 4-1-4-1. This is quite attack-minded, really. Xhaka, obviously the one who stays at the back there, covering everyone else in the midfield, but it's a very attacking side. Bowen
gets away from one challenge into the penalty area, forced out wide, but gets the shot away low, right-footed. And Robin Roofs, the Dutch goalkeeper at 6'4", was down quickly, blocked it with his legs behind for a corner kick to West Ham 0-0.
Looking really sharp, Jared Bowen there. But you look at West Ham, and they've slowly but surely become more attack-minded. You know, you've got Fulcrook, Bowen, Paquetá, Ward-Prowse. It's a very attack-minded side and lots of very good players there. Can they get enough ball in the final third? That's the important thing.
Blackpool have not enjoyed a very good start at all, and they've fallen behind in League One. Blackpool 0, Huddersfield Town 1 is the latest score in League One. You're up to date. Ward-Prowse waits to take the corner kick on this near side, the right. It's an outswinger. Roofs gets something on it. Might drop and volleyed back in. It was from Diouf, actually, the left wing back in a central position. Start of a new Premier League season, and it always gives me immense pleasure to say, wherever you are in the world, we welcome the BBC World Service. And here we are at the Stadium of Light, where it is 0-0. So the World Service have joined us as we nip back to Tottenham and John Southall.
Well, it's Tottenham 0, Burnley 0, but we have surely this was the first use of the new rule, the 8-second rule. Dubravka held on to the ball for 8 seconds, the goalkeeper. Referee blew the whistle, and we had a corner. Tottenham 0, Burnley 0.
Wigan Athletic have just taken the lead at home to Peterborough United. Wigan 1, Peterborough 0 is the latest in League One. Sunderland have to go back, and now it's with Dan Ballard at the heart of that Sunderland defence. Across to Silt, this 22-year-old Dutch defender. Only made 17 appearances last season for Sunderland. Adingra, signed from Brighton and Hove Albion, comes in now off the left touchline, passes the ball all the ground. Diarra, the Senegal international, forces the ball out wide. Sunderland now are attacking on the right-hand side. And it's with Talby. Xhaka plays it back out. Hume joins the attack, low ball in, blocked by Diouf. Fulcrook dispossessed by Ballard. Passes the ball out wide. Diarra is that player down by the corner flag, and he wins Sunderland the throw inside the West Ham half 0-0.
A little bit more positive there from Sunderland. They're getting the ball into wide areas there. The problem is very early on, they're not getting enough players in the middle, and that's a lot to ask for Mayenda, who's in there in his own against three very big, powerful centre-backs.
Goal at Sincil Bank in League One. Lincoln City lead Plymouth Argyle by 1-0. Sunderland yet to take the throw on the right-hand side. The edge of the area. The ball towards Xhaka. West Ham, though, have got it back, and it'll be Diouf who looks to clear. And now on the edge of their penalty area with Kilman. Agard. Back then from Diouf once more, and the ball is then floated up towards Fulcrook, who climbs and directs his header looking towards Paquetá, but it was intercepted by Diarra, and all of a sudden Ronaldo likes to get forward, who saw him at Atletico Madrid in the Champions League, passes it short, Adingra, and the ball is back with Siddiqui, another one of many new faces that have arrived in the summer, and there'll be another one that'll be confirmed tomorrow with Mukiel being confirmed from Paris Saint-Germain. Opportunity here for Sunderland, and the opportunity wasn't taken. The ball was played in towards Diarra, he hit it right-footed, and Hermansen had to make the save, diverts it behind for a corner kick.
Fabulous play by Diarra there. I mean, it's a 1-2 in the end that he gets on the end of, but he's the one that started to move on the right-hand side. But his pace, he just burned by that entire defence there. Got 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper, but in that occasion, Hermansen was equal to it.
Preston North End have taken the lead in the Championship against Leicester City at Deepdale. They are 1-0 up. We'll get news of that goal very, very soon. Corner kick for Sunderland to come in on that far side, the right. West Ham in their black shirts have everybody back. And it comes now. It's an in-swinger aimed towards Ballard, who was falling, pushed the top of his head, and out of play it goes for a goal kick.
They're very nippy and sharp, aren't they, Sunderland? When you watch them get the ball, Diarra immediately catches the eye. We know, we've watched Adingra when he's on the ball in the last third. He's a very, very dangerous player as well. You already get the feeling they may be quite enjoyable to watch going forward, Sunderland.
Bromley 0, Fleetwood 1 is the latest score in League 2. We'll go to the Amex in the Premier League. Sahel Sahi.
8 minutes played here. Brighton 0, Fulham 0. Terrific start from both sides. Brighton had the ball inside the net, but it was ruled out because the cross from Carlos Baliba was out of play, only just. Minter converted, but still Brighton 0, Fulham 0.
MK Dons 1, Cheltenham Town 0 is the latest score in League 2. Todibo, who was on loan last season, that's been made a permanent deal from Nice for just under £33 million for Jean-Claire Todibo. So a permanent signing for West Ham United, as the ball from Hermansen, the goalkeeper, is floated forward, headed on by Paquetá. Bowen tries to get there, tied it up at the back, and then cleared away by Roofs, the Sunderland goalkeeper. As promised, news of that goal at Deepdale from Will Perry.
Preston 1, Leicester 0. Alfie Devine on loan from Tottenham with a cross from the right-hand side. Looked like a cross, actually a brilliant finish. It was Jakub Stolarczyk in no man's land, and it nestled into the bottom left-hand corner. Preston 1, Leicester 0.
When he was at Leicester last season, Mads Hermansen, he only kept one clean sheet in 28 appearances as they were relegated, but he certainly had to be alert, didn't he, for that move for Sunderland.
Kept himself back, very Schmeichel-esque the way he did that, you know, he's so close, he's about 12 yards out, keeps it low, really hard shot, so you just make yourself as big as possible, and that bright yellow outfit who's wearing there, he's hard to miss.
Here is Ward-Prowse, plays the ball in field, in the centre circle, it's Kilman, left-footed, out towards Diouf, high up the pitch, midway through the Sunderland half, in the bright sunshine, where it remains 0-0, 9 minutes played. West Ham United go back. This is Todibo with the slightly bushy hair, out towards Wan-Bissaka. Square ball along the halfway line, Ward-Prowse gets it back, Fulkrug had dropped a little bit deep there, Ward-Prowse then passes the ball out towards Wan-Bissaka. Adingra is quick to try and close him down. Ward-Prowse gets another touch, and West Ham are quite happy just to keep the ball in that central area of the field as it goes out towards Diouf, now in towards Fulkrug. Again, he just tries to drop away off Ballard, the central defender. And West Ham keeping the ball, which would be no surprise for any team who are managed by Graham Potter.
Yeah, they look really comfortable in that midfield, in the back area as well. Actually quite impressed there by watching Todibo. He also looks dangerous going forward from corner kicks as well.
There's been a goal at Tottenham, John Southall.
Tottenham have the lead, Tottenham 1, Burnley 0, cross from the right-hand side, and there was Richarlison on the spin, 12 yards out into the bottom left corner. Tottenham 1, Burnley 0.
Rodriguez makes the run forward. Diouf might have been pushed over there, there's no foul. In fact, the referee has let play continue. West Ham are still attacking. Agard out towards that far side, rolled in towards Bowen. Bowen side onto goal, looks for a shooting opportunity with a cutback, and it was cleared by Silt, the Sunderland central defender. Counter-attack could be on here. Diarra, who always looks to be proactive, doesn't he, coming forward, got a bit of pace. I've got to say, he was one of many Senegal players who caught the eye when they beat England at the City Ground back in June. Actually got on the score sheet too. So Tottenham are ahead, and Burnley, who kept that record equaling 30 clean sheets last season, the Port Vale record from the early 50s, have conceded in Thomas Frank's first game in charge in the Premier League. Of course, we brought you commentary of the Super Cup in midweek, and we'll continue to bring you as many commentaries as we possibly can, including tomorrow, 5 Live's Premier League Sunday. Chelsea against Crystal Palace at 2, Forest Brentford will be on Sports Extra at 2, Manchester United Arsenal will be our commentary from 4:30. But 11 minutes in, what have you made of this game so far that remains goalless, Pat?
Slightly more controlled by West Ham, and they've kind of dominated the midfield most of the time. It Sunderland look like a team that are kind of not discomforted by that. You know, they want to play in the break, they know they've got good pace, obviously up front as well, but from midfield. And I think that's a big part of the game plan. They won't worry if they've got, you know, only 40% possession, as long as they've got something to run in behind.
Sunderland with Ronaldo. Back to Jensen Silt. There's still a possibility he could leave on loan actually before the transfer window closes, so he'll see this very much as an opportunity to stake his claim as the ball is lifted into that central defensive area, but Ballard comes over the top of Fulkrug. The referee, who is Rob Jones, lets the game flow because there was a foul there in the midfield, but he's kept the advantage, and Sunderland now look to try and get Adingra away on this near side, the left. It's an awkward bouncing ball, and Todibo comes across, takes it away off his toes, keeps the ball in play on this near side, and West Ham will clear. We'll get an update in the Rugby League to Castleford. Matt Newsom.
Yeah, 2 tries for Leeds Rhinos. At the moment, Jake Connor has got his magic hat and wand out. He's put 2 kicks in. One was converted by Lachlan Miller, one by Harry Newman. Leeds lead Castleford by 12 points to 0.
Thank you, Matt. Still 0-0 here in the commentary game on Sports Extra. Spurs lead Burnley by 1-0. It finished 0-0 at Villa Park between Aston Villa and Newcastle. Conser was sent off for Aston Villa in that game. In the Championship, the results: Derby County 3, Coventry City 5, Portsmouth 1, Norwich City 2, Wrexham 2, West Bromwich Albion 3. In League 1, Burton and Port Vale played out a goalless draw. Exeter 1, Mansfield 2, so a first win for Nigel Clough in League 1. And in League 2, Chesterfield made it 3 wins from 3. Bristol Rovers have lost all 3. It was 3-1 there, and Oldham 1, Swindon Town 2 was the other result from the other early game. Blackpool have just equalised. Blackpool 1, Huddersfield Town 1 in League 1. You're up to date, 5 Live.
Very interesting cat and mouse game going on down there. Back through the West Ham, I've got Todibo. He's right centre back. He doesn't want to come out and play right back, but because Wan-Bissaka goes on, Adingra will get him now and again. That's interesting.
And here is the man that Pat Nevin has just mentioned, Adingra, as Wan-Bissaka backpedals, and he comes in between two West Ham United players, Ward-Prowse and Pakatawa back there, and in fact they stopped him, and it goes out of play, and last touch off the Sunderland player, so it'll be a West Ham United throw on this near side, for a West Ham United side that have only lost just one of their last 17 games in the Premier League against promoted sides, and that was actually at Leicester back in December, towards the end of the Lopetegui reign, as Ward-Prowse plays a short square ball to Wan-Bissaka, blocked down the line by Adingra, closing him down, out for a throw.
I think if you're Sunderland, you're happy, aren't you? Just about getting up towards 15 minutes now. You've not lost anything early. I've heard that Burnley, you've come up and you thought, well, take it easy, don't lose early. They've lost early against the Spurs there. But so far, no great chances, maybe one half chance. I mean, very, very early on for Jared Bowen. But apart from that, Sunderland have kept it pretty tight.
MK Dons 2, Cheltenham 0 is the latest score in League 2. There was a statistic and indeed a feature on the BBC Sport website from our statistician Chris Collinson, that the last 10 seasons, all 12 promoted sides that had 11 points after 10 games survived. If you only picked up 8 to 10 points in that period, you had a fighting chance. 7 or fewer, 0 chance. And you look at Sunderland's fixtures, you're thinking this one here today against West Ham, Burnley away, Brentford at home, Crystal Palace away to start the season. Opportunities to get points on the board if you hit the ground running.
Exactly, but none of them are easy. If you look at where West Ham finished last season, this is somewhere you think you've got to get something out of this game. But West Ham are no mugs. It just shows you the power and strength of the Premier League at the moment.
Likewise, the flip side of that, Graham Potter and I'm sure the West Ham players were thinking, right, we're up against one of the new boys before Chelsea, Forest and Spurs. We've got a chance to make sure we can get 3 points on the board on the opening day. Ronaldo has gone forward. This Mozambique international signed on a free from Atletico Madrid in the summer. Made just over 100 appearances in 2.5 seasons in Madrid. Granit Xhaka, that was a real statement signing, wasn't it, from Bayer Leverkusen. He's been made a new captain, and certainly Regis Lebris very happy with his leadership qualities that he's shown as the ball is headed out by Kilman. Touched inside to Xhaka, plays it forward. Adingra just couldn't get there before Tadimo. Out it goes for a Sunderland throw on this near side to left as they play from right to left, 0-0.
They are coming down the left time and time again. It is Adingra, and he's been very, very clever. He's actually keeping 2 players occupied the entire time here. That's having a negative effect on West Ham and opportunities getting forward, because West Ham love to get Wan-Bissaka up that field as often as possible. Hasn't happened yet.
Talby has been quite quiet so far. He passes the ball in field. This is now Siddiqui towards Adingra, left side of the penalty area, cuts in field, then loses the ball on the edge of the box, up towards Bowen, who scampers free, trapped by Adingra, and tracks him all the way, and gets the applause from his manager too, because he gets a good sliding challenge in, and out it goes for a throw to West Ham.
That's a typical wingers one. It did really, really well, but then took him one player too many, lost the ball, but he chased it back, and he chased it back 50 yards and he won it, so that's why the manager's pleased with him.
Regular observers of Brighton, was speaking to a gentleman in midweek, was telling me that he didn't have a particularly good season for Brighton last season, but he might benefit from a regular run out, week in, week out for Sunderland. Simon Adingra.
Well, one of the problems you've got is he won't always be the main man. They want to get the ball to Matoma there all the time.
Loose ball by Diouf towards Diarra, his Senegalese teammate. Couldn't get the ball straight away to Eliza Mayenda, who actually pronounces his name Alietha, with him being from Spain, but we're going to go with the Sunderland version of Eliza, because that's what the locals have been calling him ever since he arrived, who did have that little spell at Hibs, didn't he?
Yeah, very, very little spell. There's only a couple of games.
It was 4 according to my records. The briefest of spells at Easter Road. Cambridge United 1, Harrogate Town 0 is the latest score in League 2, and Blackpool have come from behind, and Steve Bruce, against one of his many former sides, is leading Huddersfield. Blackpool now by 2 goals to 1 in League One. In the Premier League at Villa Park, Aston Villa 0, Newcastle 0 the result. Still goalless at the Amex between Brighton and Hove Albion against Fulham. And an update from Tottenham Burnley with John Southall.
Whereas Tottenham 1, Burnley 0, a half chance for Burnley. Free kick on the right hand side. Jadon Anthony with a header over the bar, but that goal from Richarlison separates the side. Really good finish. Tottenham 1, Burnley 0.
Paquetá challenged by Xhaka, went to ground, no free kick, and Sunderland are able to break. It was a slow ball. I think that was just the sticky pitch conditions, maybe. It didn't seem to roll freely towards Adingra.
When it's a pass awareness, if you're going past a player, give it to the foot where you can go forward with it. It was given to the wrong foot there and it stopped the attack there at pace. But once again, they won the ball well and there was a chance to put the ball over the top. Mayenda was there and the West Ham players come out as a 3. You just wonder, if you're marking one player and there's 3 of you, do you really need to try and play offside? 3 of you.
Good to be working alongside Pat, despite his comments during our live show of the Commentators View podcast that was back, or is back, for a second season. You can download that through the Football Daily podcast. Ball threaded through by Diarra. Little cut back from Trey Hume, looking towards Mayenda. It is Talby who whips the ball in from the right-hand side. Wan-Bissaka lets it run through. Adingra will pick up that loose ball on the Sunderland left. Still 20 minutes played. Ronaldo then challenged by Paquetá on the edge of the area, and all of a sudden there could be a break on. Fulkrug's going through the middle. Bowen is ahead of Paquetá on this near side, the right. Here is the England international. Ronaldo though back at him and then fouls him. With a coming together, and it'll be a free kick to West Ham.
There's just something a wee bit sharper about the Sunderland players, particularly in the midfield area, and it might be that youth that we were talking to Chappers about earlier on. They're all lively, they're all sharp, they're all very, very quick, and there's a bit more nous about the West Ham players, particularly going forward. But at the moment, very impressed the way Sunderland have settled in.
At Vicarage Road in the Championship, Watford are leading Queen's Park Rangers by 1-0. Remember, Preston still lead Leicester 1-0, as there is no real hurry from West Ham United to take this free kick on this near side the right, in their dark shirts and mustard yellow shorts, playing from left to right here on BBC Radio 5 Live at the start of this new Premier League season. And Ward-Prowse and Malik Diouf are the two who stand over this. So if it's Ward-Prowse, it'll be a right footer coming in from the right. It'll be an outswinger, and therefore Malik Diouf, the Senegalese international, who scored a number of goals for Slavia Prague last season, he will be the one who'll be whipping it in. 7 goals he scored on the way to the Czech title last season. He's got a really, really good crossing ability as Malik Diouf. Let's see what they can do from this set piece. 21 minutes played, 0-0. Fair-haired Ward-Prowse with royal blue boots, waits. Both arms go aloft from the two likely takers. Diouf runs over it and it's whipped in now by Ward-Prowse. It was arcing its way in, dropped over everybody's heads and will run out tamely for a throw. We'll get another update from Brighton. Sahel.
22 minutes played, Brighton 0, Fulham 0. This game just petering away, it's bubbling under the surface, just needs a bit of invention. At the moment, Yakuba Minta and Karim Matoma, they really are on fire for Brighton, just lacking that bit of creativity. Brighton 0, Fulham 0.
Barnet, on their return to the Football League, have lost both of their games before today. They've actually now fallen 2-0 down at home to Walsall in League 2, and in that division Salford City are leading Accrington Stanley by 1-0 as well, as there's a free kick, and it is a free kick to Sunderland on the far side, and the game's just noticeably dropped in terms of its tempo.
I think it's dropped because West Ham dropped it. It took so long to take that free kick, and I will admit they left me completely and utterly confused when they took that free kick. As you said in the commentary, both players that were going to take it, either one or the other, put their hands up. If you put your hand up, that's a sign. If both of them put their hand up, what's that supposed to say? How do you know which one you're supposed to be watching?
Answers on a postcard. Ball lifted long, headed down by Malik Diouf, and then Rodriguez almost gets in the way of his own player, but they hold on to the ball to West Ham United, and Wan-Bissaka plays it back towards Todivo. Watford have got a second goal at Vicarage Road. Watford 2, Queen's Park Rangers 0, as League 2, Nick Hatton at Crewe.
Crewe 1, Crawley 0. Tommy O'Reilly with the goal, threaded through. Lovely finish from 12 yards out. Crewe 1, Crawley 0.
Crewe started well, 2 wins from 2. They were top before Chesterfield's 3-1 win over Bristol Rovers earlier. Still 0-0 here in the Premier League at the Stadium of Light, as this is Rodriguez. Ward-Prowse running forward, left of the centre circle. Interception from Trey Hume, who has been linked with moves away, but signed a contract extension this week to 2030, the Northern Ireland international. Wan-Bissaka's forward ball cut out by a sliding Noah Siddiqui, DR Congo international, who was signed on a 5-year deal in the summer from Union Saint-Gilloise. Very consistent for the Belgian champions last season, as the Sunderland supporters whip up the atmosphere inside the Stadium of Light, but it is still 0-0, and with that exception of that early chance for at both ends, the Bowen one and then the Diarra one for Sunderland in the early exchanges, not many opportunities have since been created. But now Bowen is played in, Bowen holds off one challenge, and then Ronaldo did ever so well just to come back at him a second time to get the ball away from Jarrod Bowen before he could get a left-footed shot clear.
Fantastic defending, absolutely brilliant, because it's in the box, he's got away from him slightly, so if you make any sort of tackle and do not get it right, it's a penalty kick. Stick on, nothing surer. However, he wrapped his leg round, got the ball clean as little, and got away with it. That is superb defending by Ronaldo.
Blackpool now a 3-1 up at home to Huddersfield Town, so finally looking to get their season up and running at Bloomfield Road, it would seem. 25 minutes played.
I think part of it here, Ian, I think West Ham do want to kill the noise here, don't they?
Yeah.
Because it was buzzing so much beforehand. They want to calm things down. They know there'll be a massive amount of excitement from those Sunderland players as well at the start of the game. So yeah, I think that's a definite deliberate ploy to slow the game down a few times.
But if you look actually as the ball breaks down and goes out for a Sunderland throw, and it's slightly misleading on the basis that last season they were in a playoff position which was secured for so long that they were then changing and resting players ahead of the playoff campaign. But Sunderland did lose their last 3 league games at home last season, all by a goal to nil, I hasten to add.
Exactly. But it's so hard. We compare, teams this year, last year. You can't compare Sunderland last year with this year, can you? Because there's 7 new players on the pitch. It's just impossible to compare them.
Get an update again from the Rugby League with Matt.
Yeah, Leeds Rhinos certainly heading for third, and we're only in the first half here. They lead Castleford Tigers 22 points to nil. Tries from Presley Cassell, Brodie Croft. They're really taking control. Castleford Tigers nil, Leeds Rhinos 22.
There was an opportunity while we were there, and the ball from the right-hand side was played to the area, and it was Juve who is arriving. He's hit it left-footed, and Ballard made an attempt, but I think it was Roos who blocked it with his legs, the keeper.
I actually think Aguirre got it.
Ballard then, it's Ballard then.
So he got his foot in there, and it's one of those defensive ones where you think to yourself, do you know what, I'm going to give it the fist pump for this one, and you deserve it, because that's almost a goal-saving one. So you're actually absolutely spot on. It was Ballard.
Cross comes in from the left, Fulcrook is there, Bowen is also there, and the ball is then scooped up by Robin Roos, the goalkeeper. Neither could get a telling touch from a low ball that was drilled in, fist along the ground.
10, 11, 12. I'm counting for the goalkeeper there, and he was up to about 12 seconds. The referee, give him his due, he's given him a warning already.
Well, it's got to be, the goalkeeper's got to be in full control of the ball, and then supposedly the referee has got to make a signal with his hand till you've got 5 seconds left.
Yeah, I think the referee did that there, he got that right. And fortunately for Roof's and goal there, he was able to drop the ball because no one was closing him down.
It's already happened though at Tottenham, has that, with a goalkeeper with that new rule. You'll be able to see that on Match of the Day tonight, BBC One, 10:20. I'm not too sure who's hosting it, but of course it is a new era in many other ways, because the highlights of every fixture will be available before Match of the Day goes to air. So at 8 o'clock on the BBC iPlayer and the BBC website and BBC Sport website and app, you'll be able to see the highlights, just the pure highlights of every fixture that way as well. Wigan 2, Peterborough United 0, Salford City 2, Accrington Stanley 0. Update from Brighton, Sahel.
Still Brighton 0, Fulham 0, 28 minutes play, but the two players who've been really the star performers for Brighton combining. Minter with a cross, Mitoma with a header 6 yards away. It was a free header, ended up on the roof of the net. Brighton 0, Fulham 0.
Bowen with a shot that was deflected and then cleared by Ballard, and out it goes for a throw on the far side, 0-0.
He's getting more and more involved now, Jared Bowen. Every time he gets the ball, he's on the half turn, and he wants a player, he wants a defender to be close to him so he can roll him, and he's done it 2 or 3 times in the last few minutes. He is now looking very dangerous. Stockport
County, who are one of 6 clubs in League One to have had a 100% winning start, are leading at Leyton Orient. Leyton Orient 0, Stockport County 1. Ball goes over the top and it's collected by the feet of the 22-year-old Sunderland goalkeeper Robin Roos. We'll go to Tottenham. This is on Sports Extra, incidentally. John Southall.
29 minutes played, Tottenham 1, Burnley 0, but Burnley have been better in the last 10 minutes. Maxine Esteve with a backward header straight to the goalkeeper though, but better from Burnley. Tottenham 1, Burnley 0.
Roos plays the ball out. Ballard goes out wide, far side the right, hits it long. Now Maenda has made the run in behind Max Kilman, who for the last 2 seasons has been an ever-present in the Premier League for Wolves and for West Ham United.
Yeah, he's done fantastically well there. Look, he's not got the pace of the man he's playing up against, but he isn't panicking. He just shoved him out a little bit wide there, gives away the throw-in in that sort of area, but there must be a slight concern in that back line of West Ham, because the pace that's running at them just now with a simple ball over the top is causing them 1 or 2 problems.
Diarra with a flick. Sunderland on that far side the right side of the penalty area, playing from right to left. Fleetwood, who had won their opening 2 games, have been pegged back at Bromley. Bromley 1, Fleetwood Town 1 is the latest score in League 2, as Reinildo, coming under pressure from Wan-Bissaka, goes back towards Silt, the central defender. That long diagonal ball kept in by Diouf, and then it is with Ward-Prowse who takes over for West Ham United, and Ward-Prowse holds on to the ball, finds Kilman, and West Ham play at the back, and it allows us an opportunity to check in with Mike Minor at Hillsborough.
Yeah, where Stoke still lead by a goal to 0, but they've had one off the line with Mabama clipping it over the goalkeeper. Then as Wednesday cleared it, it fell to Lewis Bake, who from 25 yards smacked the crossbar. Sheffield Wednesday 0, Stoke City 1.
Other goals in the Championship. Preston North End still lead Leicester by a goal to 0, and at Vicarage Road, Watford are still 2-0 up at home to Queen's Park Rangers. And Huddersfield have got a goal back. Blackpool 3, Huddersfield Town 2 is a latest score. West Ham are attacking. Fulcrum drifts out wide on this near side the right, runs in now, edge of the area, down towards the byline he goes, but going with him every step of the way was Silt, and it will be a goal kick. The assistant referee on this near side overruled, Pat.
Yep, don't often get that. It was a hard one he called there, and I thought the assistant referee was actually in a better position, but the referee, his judgment is final. Interesting to see Fulcrum there. I actually think the referee got that one right. Well done, ref. But Fulcrum, I think possibly you hadn't mentioned his name other than when you were doing the lineups beforehand. And I feel a wee bit sorry for him, because he's a centre forward. He wants a few balls into the middle to attack. There's nothing come in for the wide areas really for him, has it? Is there? And you want in Diouf, if you're a West Ham fan, obviously on one side, Wan-Bissaka on the other side, to give him something to go and attack. Neither of them have been able to do so far.
Only 6 Premier League starts last season. Nicholas Fulkrug, the German international, out of 20 appearances that he made. Aberdeen are 1-0 up in the Scottish League Cup at Greenock Morton. Greenock Morton 0, Aberdeen 1, Reading 0, Wimbledon 1 is a latest score in League One. After Sports Report, incidentally, tonight, 6:06 will be after the commentary of Wolves Manchester City. John Murray and Chris Powell bring you that from Molineux. And then 6:06, Chris Sutton and Aaron Paul. So not just all about the Premier League. Aaron Paul will be more than happy to take your matters about the Football League. 08085 909 693 as Barrow lead Notts County by a goal to 0. It remains 0-0 here, but there's been a goal at Valley Parade in League One. John Bennett.
Bradford City 1, Luton Town 0. It's Stephen Humphreys with a tap-in. Bradford just about deserve it in a lively game. That's his 3rd chance of the game. He wasn't going to miss from a few yards out. Bradford City 1, Luton Town 0.
They were the last remaining side, Luton Town, in League One, yet to concede a goal this season, but that record has gone. The other one was Huddersfield before today, but they've already shipped 3 at Blackpool. No other goals elsewhere around the country to tell you about. 12 minutes to go to half-time here on 5 Live at the Stadium of Light, 0-0, as the long ball out from the back is overhit by West Ham United. I think that was Naif Agard, wasn't it? And he's drilled it downfield, and it's gone straight out for a goal kick.
It wasn't brilliant, that. He's got good possession, no one on him, and it's very much a hopeful ball in that situation. Don't often see giving away that easily, but 30 odd minutes in now, you have to ask yourself, if you're a Sunderland player or indeed a Sunderland fan, are we going to cope? Are we going to get outclassed? Are we there? They don't look outclassed yet, do they? They look, without saying comfortable, they look okay. There's a lot of belief there, and they don't look like a bunch of players that don't know each other. So well drilled so far.
Yeah, and they are more than competing. They're more than holding their own against this West Ham United side. Rob Jones gives a free kick to Sunderland. The Sunderland supporters will not need reminding of this. This is a Sunderland team that haven't won any of their last 17 Premier League games in the month of August, going all the way back to 2010. And indeed, they haven't won a game in any of their last 6 seasons in August in the Premier League. Mind you, none of the promoted 3 last season won a game in August or September.
I love the way you said they wouldn't need reminding them, and then you reminded them.
I know. Here is Hume. Talby. He's been quiet on that right-hand side for Sunderland. Hume tries to get around the back, cut out by Diouf. But Siddiqui slides, and it goes out for a throw over on that far side before it could reach Jared Bowen. When I said that Blackpool might get off to a winning start, they were 3-1 up at the time. It's now 3-2, and they're now down to 10 men because Niall Ennis has been sent off 9 minutes before half-time. So they're 3-2 up against Huddersfield. They're going to have to play, well, the best part of 2/3 of the remaining game down to 10. Ball lifted forward. Mayenda in the penalty area. Wouldn't really come down for him. Kilman managed to hook it away. Stockport County have got a second goal at Leyton Orient. Leyton Orient 0, Stockport County 2.
Once again, the ball just lumped up to, Ballard's. He's always going to have the power if the ball's just dollied up to Jared Bowen there. You got to zip it into him and give him a chance to hold it.
Diouf back there, deep inside his own half with the header away. Xhaka, though, for Sunderland, strokes it to the right. Still in the bright sunshine. They said it might be a little fresher in the northeast today. Doesn't feel it. Very, very pleasant afternoon indeed. As here now is Ronaldo joining the attack at left back. Adingra level with the penalty area on the left hand side. Laid off by Siddiqui. Back towards Adingra. Adingra doesn't deliver the cross just yet. Wan-Bissaka's in front of him. Tries to pass the ball. The interception from Ward-Prowse. Runs away off his shins. And then to try and stop the run, there was Silt, the central defender. And it balloons away from him and will drop behind that goal of Mads Hermansen, the West Ham United goalkeeper. And it'll be a goal kick, and we're still 0-0.
It's a wee bit of a shame, though, because Adingra started very, very well. And because of that, it's pulled Wan-Bissaka back a little bit. And it's kind of crushed that side of the field. What you thought would be exciting. Adingra's getting a lot of the ball in the final third, but he's always got 2 players up against him now.
Bowen collects this pass on the near side, the right, and runs forward. Ronaldo has gone with him, deliberately plays it in low. Wan-Bissaka gives a little tickle. Fulkrug with his back to goal, might drop towards Ward-Prowse. That was an important clearance by Diarra there, just before it could drop. West Ham have got it back though with Paquetá. Paquetá to Bowen. Back to goal, running away from the penalty area. Ward-Prowse. The guard goes out wide. Diouf. West Ham now have committed every player into the Sunderland half. Laid off by Paquetá. Rodriguez to Debo. His ball gets a deflection and it will spin out of play for a throw. Just in case it did upset any Sunderland supporters, in the interest of balance, to give you a statistic that might offer more encouragement and at the same time alienate any West Ham fans. West Ham have lost the opening match of a Premier League season more than any other side. A not so sweet 16.
It's not a good one.
I'm impartial if nothing else.
Yes, I'll give you that. Very much BBC policy here. But at the moment, just watching West Ham, you aren't really wanting to push it. You would think, OK, settled, you've calmed the crowd down a little bit. Right now, time to push on. It's not really happening yet for them, is it?
There's a degree of caution within their play. St Mirren 1, Heart of Midlothian 0 in the Scottish League Cup. Aberdeen have got a second goal at Greenock Morton. Greenock Morton 0, Aberdeen 2. If I haven't mentioned Leyton Orient 0, Stockport County 2, then I have now. We're up to date. We'll go to Nick Hatton at Crewe.
Still Crewe 1, Crawley 0. Crewe thought they had a deserved second just a few moments ago. Lovely header from Mickey Dimitriou from a recycled corner. Ruled out for offside though. Crewe 1, Crawley 0.
Thank you, Nick. This is BBC Radio 5 Live. We've got about 6.5 minutes to go to half-time. Should be a crowd of over 46,000 inside the Stadium of Light this afternoon. 0-0 though, as Reinildo back then to Silt, who then passes the ball ahead of Reinildo. Wasn't expecting that, and it's gone straight out for a throw in front of Regis Lebris, who has signed that new deal this month to 2028, as that bouncing ball unable to be kept in play on that far side by Malik Diouf.
Yeah, just if you're playing with three centre-backs, the most important players arguably in the team, and Manchester United have found this as well, are the wing-backs. So your wing-backs got to create. They've got to get up and down the field, and they've got to put balls into the box. Diouf hasn't done that once yet, has he? He's not got down that left-hand side. And on the right-hand side, Wan-Bissaka, he's been tied up by Adingra. And I think that's a lot of the reason why it's become a little bit more stodgy now, because the out-ball's just not been there so far for West Ham.
Yeah, I certainly did expect Malik Diouf to get forward a little bit more than he has so far. Adingra is the one getting forward now, and there's been a foul there on Todibo from Adingra, and it'll be a free kick to West Ham. Barnet have got a goal back in League 2. Barnet 1, Walsall 2. And Todibo is going to take it midway through the West Ham United half.
So incredible when you watched last night's game, you know, Liverpool playing against Bournemouth, and the pace that it was played at, the excitement of it, 100 mile an hour right from the start. And you can think, well, this is going to be a great season, it's all going to be like that, but this is really a little bit more like a chess game at the moment.
And the thing is, as the game wears on, I'm sure Sunderland would quite gladly take a point. I know they're at home, but just to get something on the board. Ideally they'd want 3, I get that, but they'd take something at the start of the season.
What is kind of noticeable just now, you feel as if they need a bit more physicality up front. But they've got Mark Guéhi, now he's young, you know, he's only 19, very, very highly rated down at Chelsea, that's why he's only here on loan. And it may well be that his physicality and power running may be something they'll look to in the second half.
That's Pat Nevin, 4.5 minutes to go to half-time, 0-0. West Ham United in possession. Agard back with Kilman just outside the centre circle, and Hermansen, who comes out of his penalty area, makes himself an option and then hits it left-footed downfield. There was Granit Xhaka to get his head onto it, and Sadiki, the defensive midfielder, is quite versatile actually, can play as a full-back, can also play as a central defender as well if he wanted to, but that other defensive shield in that centre of midfield for Sunderland, just trying to break up the play. As the Stadium of Light falls silent, and Ward-Prowse running in field inside the Sunderland half, about 6 yards back out towards Bowen on this near side, the right. Ward-Prowse still in the shadows of the main stand here, gets it back from Bowen once again. Sunderland must be that back line about 25 yards out from their own goal. Wan-Bissaka now comes forward, sends over a cross, Diouf gets on the end of it, heads it back into the penalty area, falls on the edge of the area. Rodriguez got the shot away. Wasn't the cleanest of strikes, but now the ball can be brought clear by Diarra, who's got strength, he's got power and he's got speed, and he finds Adingra, and all of a sudden this now is Talby with a cross, blocked by the legs of Kilman. They're appealing there for a penalty here as Sunderland from that cross from the left. A corner kick has been awarded. It will, of course, naturally be checked by VAR.
Yeah, no doubt about that, but what a great break. It was such pace there. We've actually spotted it a few times earlier on in this game, Diarra. He just sets off. He's got 3 players beside him. They ain't catching him. There's no way they're going to catch him. He's got a corner kick out of it. He's not going to get a penalty kick, I don't think.
Mind you, Sunderland have missed their last 4 penalties. Talk about a spot of bother. It's the longest run of any of the sides in the top 4 tiers.
By the way, just to underline, never a penalty in a month of Sundays.
Right, glad we've tidied that one up. Cardiff 1, Rotherham United 0. Corner kick though for Sunderland on this near side, the left. Referee's blown his whistle and has spotted a bit of pushing.
I thought we weren't going to do that. I thought we were going to allow it to carry on, and if you do push and pull, then you either get a penalty kick or a free kick in the box. Well, at least the referee's looking at it. He's giving them a warning. We shall see.
It's one of those increased areas of focus from the referees will be holding this season, as the corner kick to be taken on this near side, the left. And it comes now. It's an in-swinger. Ballard was there. Mayenda is there. Tried to get the shot away right-footed. Succeeded. Blocked. Spins away out for a corner on the far side. If you've been with us all afternoon, and Mark Chapman has been on air since 12 o'clock, just after 2:30, I interviewed Richard Masters here at the Stadium of Light. We were talking about that disgraceful incident last night at Anfield, and indeed a 47-year-old man from Liverpool has been arrested after Antoine Semenyo reported being racially abused during last night's game at Anfield. Corner kick for Sunderland from the right this time, and the header from a back-pedalling Ballard as he fell onto his backside. He did get the header back goalwards, but it was lacking real power, and it was easily gathered in by Hermansen. Back to Tottenham, John Southall.
Approaching half-time, Tottenham 1, Burnley 0. Strange moment, really. Josh Lauren with a shot on the edge of the D. It looked harmless. Vicaria just totally misjudged it and ended up pushing it over the crossbar. Tottenham 1, Burnley 0.
So we're inside. That commentary, incidentally, is on Sports Extra. And you've got the 100 as well, the various games on our streams of Sports Extra 2 and 3. The Trent Rockets against Southern Brave on Sports Extra 2, and Oval Invincibles against Welsh Fire on Sports Extra 3. The last seconds then of this first half. 0-0 it's still here at the Stadium of Light. Ward-Prowse with a diagonal ball spread out towards Diouf, easily read by Hume. Got there with a header, and Sunderland will get a throw on the right.
They love Trey Hume around here, don't they? And he's done a very good job over in that right full-back area over there. Diouf has got absolutely nothing out of him so far, and that'll do.
And there is no stoppage time, so in terms of opportunities, they've been limited. Bowen had an early shot blocked. Diarra at the close at the other end, saved by the legs by Hermansen, and that's probably been about it.
It tells you a story when you start looking at who's on the bench even before the half-time whistle blows. I think a few adaptations have to be made. I wonder about Paqueta. He's had very, very little effect in the game. Maybe Souček comes on for him. That might make a difference for West Ham United. And as for Sunderland, they need a bit more power up front.
So, half-time at the Stadium of Light. Sunderland 0, West Ham United 0.
Remember earlier it finished Aston Villa 0, Newcastle 0. They're going off at the Amex as well, where that is also goalless. Brighton and Fulham, Sahel Sahi.
Yeah, half-time here, Mark, 0-0. Both teams, they started brightly. Fulham's Raul Jimenez slicing an effort wide within the first 60 seconds. Brighton then responded through Minter putting the ball into the net after a cross from Baliba, which was ruled out of play. Ruta had the first effort on goal after 25 minutes, a routine save for Bernd Leno, and then Mitoma with a header over 6 yards away, and then Wilson did likewise for Fulham. But half-time, it's been disappointing, to be very honest. Brighton 0, Fulham 0.
When you need a goal, come in, John Southall.
Yeah, we'll help you tonight, Mark. Tottenham 1, Burnley 0.
I mean, it's a bit meagre at the moment.
I have to say, if they'd all finished 0-0, I'd have absolutely loved that today. But unfortunately, Richarlison has ruined it. Tottenham 1, Burnley 0. That goal from Richarlison after 10 minutes. Lovely ball from Kudus on the right-hand side. Richarlison still had a lot to do, 12 yards out on the spin, guided it into the bottom left-hand corner, the first league goal of the Thomas Frank era. Burnley, they reacted really well, efforts from Anthony Estev and Lauren twice. And I have to say, they finished the half the better of the two sides. Tottenham 1, Burnley 0.
Let's go into the Championship. Oh, we'll go back to the goalless games. At Ewood Park, Chris Coles.
Let me just tell you this one statistic, Mark. Blackburn's XG, 0.00. Birmingham's XG, 0.05. Nothing more to add. Blackburn 0, Birmingham 0.
Oh my word. It is look, it's still early in the season. Maybe some teams are just finding their feet at the moment. In the Championship earlier, there were plenty of goals. Coventry 1, 5-3 at Derby, Portsmouth 1, Norwich 2, and Wrexham 2, West Brom 3. Let's go to the Den. This is always also goalless. Joshua.
0-0 Borough 0. Moments away from half-time whistle has just been blown. A lively opener, 45 minutes from both. The hosts just edging it in chances and possession. Best chance falling to Kamal Negley, who had a dive header go wide. Quality levels need to rise in a quest for a goal in this one. 0-0 Borough 0.
Goalless at Swansea as well, where they're still playing. Molly Stevens.
Yeah, still playing at the moment, and I've got to say it's been really lively, Mark. Free-flowing football on the whole. The hosts with 6 good chances in front of goal, which is encouraging the Swansea fans around me, but also frustrating at the same time, looking that they're going into this half-time 0-0. Swansea 0, Sheffield United 0 for now.
There are 4 goals in total in the Championship 3 o'clocks. One of them came very early on at Hillsborough. Mike Miney.
Yeah, Stoke didn't keep you waiting, did they? Millian Manhoff struck it low into the near post on the right of the box. That goal amongst Wednesday whistles as fans protested against the owner. The half-time whistle's just gone. The Potters have also had one off the line. They've hit the crossbar too. As for Wednesday, there is ambition, but no end product at the minute. Sheffield Wednesday 0, Stoke City 1.
What's the atmosphere been like, Mike?
Well, like I say, they started with those whistles during pre-game, and then the plan was for the opening 5 minutes. This chorus of whistles echoing around Hillsborough, but Stoke's early goal quietened all of that, and fans just gave up at that moment on carrying the whistles on. Pre-game, there was that march across Hillsborough Park where fans were very vocal about getting the owner out of the club and protesting, bringing that coffin from one side of the park to the other. But yeah, largely during the game, behind the team, loads of applause, loads of appreciation for the players after what they've been through this summer as well. Just waiting for that goal, really.
QPR have pulled one back at Watford in the Championship. Kieran Morgan, 4th minute of stoppage time in the first half. They're still playing at Vicarage Road. And Watford lead by 2-1 in the Scottish League Cup. Partick Thistle have just doubled their lead at home to Ayr. Logan Chalmers with that goal. They're still waiting for the half-time whistle to go, though. Back to the Championship. Will Perry at Deepdale.
Preston 1, Leicester 0 at the break. Alfie Devine with the goal, and his surname says it all. What a finish from the Tottenham loanee on his first league start for Preston. Leicester keeper Jakub Stolarczyk in no man's land, out of his box, and Devine finished almost from the far touchline into the bottom left corner. Michael Smith's looping header close to doubling the lead, but dipped just wide. Marty Cifuentes' side yet to have a shot on target. Preston 1, Leicester 0.
Half-time whistle has now gone at Vicarage Road, and Watford lead QPR by 1-0. The Watford goals both scored by Luca Kieramgard, who's on loan from Udinese. Back to the goalless games. Andy Stevenson.
Yeah, it's been a decent half, certainly the first 20 minutes anyway. Bristol City, Charlton played in a great atmosphere. City have had the best of it, looking very bright going forward, with boss Gerhard Struber often up and out of his seat, wearing what I think is going to become an iconic red baseball cap. Anis Mehmeti has gone closest with a nice sidestep and shot from outside the area, going just wide. At the other end, Tyrese Campbell has looked sharp for the away side, but it's Bristol City 0, Charlton 0.
Into League One earlier at lunchtime. Burton 0, Port Vale 0. Port Vale down to 10 in that game in the first half. Mansfield won 2-1 at Exeter. Let's go to Oakwell. Barnsley against Bolton. Sani Rajavajala.
Goalless but excellent so far. For Bolton, Amario Cozy-Juby was through after 2, but keeper Murphy Cooper smothered. And we had the classic, everyone on the feet, thinking Barnsley had scored. In-swinger from Ogbeta from the left. David McGoldrick volleying wide, and the ball ending up behind the netting from point-blank range. Half-time, Barnsley 0, Bolton 0.
Let's go to Valley Parade next, where Luton have conceded their first league goal of the season. John Bennett.
Yes, Bradford City 1, Luton Town 0. Luton's 100% league record at risk here. Bradford inspired by the brilliant home crowd. One of the impressive Bradford summer signings getting his first goal for the club. Stephen Humphreys with a poacher's finish, and they deserve it. They've had the better chances. Bradford City 1, Luton Town 0.
So Luton conceding their first league goal of the season. Huddersfield have conceded their first as well. In fact, they've conceded 3 at Blackpool. It's been an eventful first half there. Blackpool 3, Huddersfield 2. Niall Ennis has got 2 of the Blackpool goals, so that's 3 for the season for him, but he has also been sent off. Elsewhere in League One, Cardiff 1, Rotherham 0. Doncaster 0, Wickham 0, Leyton Orient 0, Stockport 2. Stockport's first goal there coming from Nathan Lowe. That's his first league goal for them. Remember, he was devastating on loan in the first half of the season at Walsall last campaign. Lincoln 1, Plymouth 0, Reading 0, AFC Wimbledon 1. Matty Stevens with his second of the season already there for Johnny Jackson's side. Goalless between Stevenage and Northampton, and Wigan lead Peterborough by 2-0. haven't had a good start to the season. Peterborough lost both of their games so far. Earlier on in League 2, Chesterfield 3, 10-man Bristol Rovers 1 and Oldham 1, Swindon 2. This afternoon we're at Crewe Crawley. Nick Hatton.
Crewe 1, Crawley 0, totally deserved for the league leaders. Mark Crawley have offered little as Crewe have dominated. The deadlock broken on the 22nd minute. Tommy O'Reilly fed through on goal, one-on-one, and finished well from 12 yards out. Crewe thought they had a second, but Mickey Dimitriou's header was ruled out for offside. They've had other efforts from Josh March, Max Sanders and Connor Thomas as well. That should have put Crewe out of sight. This game, though, still very much alive if Crawley can find something in the second half. Half-time, Crewe 1, Crawley 0.
Elsewhere in League 2, Barnet have lost both of their league games 2-0 since being promoted back to the Football League. They're 2-1 down this afternoon at home to Walsall. Connor Barrett got the first of the Walsall goals. He's got 2 for the season. Barrow have scored their first league goal of the season. They lead Notts County 1-0. Bromley 1. Fleetwood 1. They haven't lost since April, haven't the home side? They did trail there, but they're on level terms at the break. Lewis Apparay has got his third of the season for Cambridge, and they lead Harrogate by 1-0. Grimsby 1, Newport 0. Very good first half for Paul Ward's MK Dons. Alex Gilby and Callum Patterson both getting their seconds of the season, and they lead Cheltenham by 3-0. Ben Woodburn and Luke Garbett have been on the score sheet for Carl Robinson Salford. They're 2-0 up on Accrington Stanley, and it's goalless between Shrewsbury and Colchester and Tranmere and Gillingham. In the National League earlier, Rochdale came from a goal down at home to Altrincham to win by 2-1. At 3 o'clock, half-time scores: 10-man Aldershot 0, Boston 1. Carlisle are behind at the break. They trail Boreham Wood by 1-0. Eastleigh 0, Gateshead 2. Forest Green Rovers 0, Yeovil 0. Hartlepool 1, Braintree 0. Scunthorpe are 2-0 up on Woking. Southend 1, Tamworth 0. Sutton 0, Solihull Moors 0. And Wealdstone 1, Halifax 1. And Halifax are down to 10 in that game. Into the Scottish League Cup. Last night Celtic beat Falkirk. In the 3 o'clock games, we're with St Johnstone and Motherwell. Ailey Barber.
It's top flight Motherwell who've dominated the ball against their lower league opponents, but they've created very little in the penalty area with it. They did have one cleared off the line in a very rare shot on target across the whole 45. St Johnstone arguably have had better glimpses of goal, although getting forward has been rare. Big defender Chick Diabate snatched at a golden opportunity right before the break, firing well over. Plenty of nice football, just not much of it in the final third, which is pretty much why we are at the break. St Johnstone 0, Motherwell 0.
Elsewhere, Greenock Morton 0, Aberdeen 2, Partick 2, Ayr 0. St Mirren lead the All Premiership tie against Hearts by 1-0. Scottish League 1 at the break. Cove Rangers are 2-1 up on 10-man Montrose. Hamilton 1, East 5-0. Inverness 1, Stenhouse Muir 1. And Queen of the South are 1-0 up on Peterhead. And in League 2, Clyde 1, Spartans 2. Dumbarton 0, Elgin 1. East Kilbride leads Stranraer by 1-0. Edinburgh 0, Annan 2. And Forfar 2, Stirling 1. Into Super League, Castleford against Leeds. Very much, Matt Newsom, going the way of the visitors.
Yeah, you could say that again. Castleford booed off at half-time, 36-0 down. Leeds heading for third place in the league, by the way. Within their 6 try scorers, Presley Cassell on his first start, so another product off the production line for the Rhinos. But for Castleford, it's a real nadir of a season. Just the 5 wins all campaign. They want a new coach. The new coach is soon to be announced. The fans, who are thoroughly fed up, will hope that he can change things round maybe in 2026, because if it's on this evidence, they've already written off 2025, and Leeds are the ones who are heading for the playoffs.
Earlier in the 100, Southern Braves women beat Trent Rockets women by 6 wickets. As far as the men are concerned, Henry Moran?
Southern Brave have set a target of 141 for the Trent Rockets. Lewis Deploy top scoring with 55, but the innings really marked by a horrible looking ankle injury to Adam Hose. He had to be stretchered off and clearly shook both sides. Trent Rockets set a target of 141 by the Brave. 4 games in total, 2 fixtures today. Oval Invincibles, women against Welsh Fire women next. Sachi Pie.
Yeah, Oval Invincibles, posted 150 of their 100 deliveries. Top score with Alice Kepsey on 55, but an unbeaten 47 from Marizan Cab was really the beauty of that innings. Now Welsh Fire coming into bat, chasing down 151 to win and register their first victory of this tournament. Catch us on BBC Sports Extra 3.
It is 1 minute to 4 o'clock, and Joe Critcher has the news.
The voice of the UK.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Leaders of Ukraine's allies, including the UK, France and Germany, will meet tomorrow. It's after President Trump failed to reach a deal with the Russian President Vladimir Putin in Alaska to stop the conflict in Ukraine. Mr. Trump says the focus should be on negotiating a full peace agreement rather than a temporary ceasefire. Here's our World News correspondent Joe Inwood.
If it is now the position of the Americans, and therefore by extension is going to be a position which might be forced upon the Ukrainians and the Europeans as well, that we have to come to a full peace deal first, nothing is sorted until everything is sorted, well, that I think will be seen as yet another diplomatic win for President Putin after last night's events.
President Zelensky will fly to Washington for talks with President Trump on Monday. A man's appeared in court charged with murdering a 36-year-old woman in Illingworth, north of Halifax. Lee Taylor, who's 40 and from Halifax, is due before Bradford Crown Court on Tuesday, accused of killing Paris Kendall. A 47-year-old man has been arrested after Bournemouth player Anton Semenyo reported being racially abused during the opening match of the Premier League at Anfield. Merseyside police removed him from the stadium. He's now been arrested on suspicion of a racially aggravated public order offence. A group of children in Midlothian are being offered support after they were added to a WhatsApp group and told to send explicit photos. They're aged around 9 or 10 and are pupils at Paradise Primary School. Police are investigating. And the last surviving British Second World War soldier to be given the Victoria Cross has died at the age of 105. Flight Lieutenant John Cruikshank was awarded the highest military honour for bravery for successfully destroying a German U-boat in 1944.
Here we go again. It is the return of the 100.
Driven through the colours.
Every huge boundary.
Clobbered over her head. Away to the boundary for 4.
Every huge six.
Fielder underneath it, can only watch it go over his head.
Every wicket.
Should be a simple catch. She's gone.
Catch it all. It's gone. The 100 continues. In the air, could be a catch, and it is.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
This is 5 Live Sports with Mark Chapman.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
So earlier it was Aston Villa 0, Newcastle 0. The only game with a goal at 3 o'clock, Tottenham-Burnley, is on Sports Extra if you want to listen to that. Richarlison's strike, the difference between the two teams. On the south coast, Brighton 0, Fulham 0. And in the northeast, goalless between Sunderland and West Ham. But that will surely change in the second half. Pat Nevin and Ian Dennis.
Have you got your fingers crossed, have you? do you know what?
I'm just loving everybody else revelling in this at the moment.
Well, there is a certain irony in the fact that you've taken the mickey out of John Southall for so long.
Karma, isn't it? Karma.
It just, isn't it? Well, yeah, you got Sports Report before that, so don't go anywhere just yet. No changes from West Ham. I said they were in black shirts. I think it's more of it's a dark navy, isn't it?
It's the darkest of dark blues you've ever seen, and it does look from up here like it's black. But
so they've not made any changes. They've got the yellow shorts, so they have Hermansen in goal, back 3 of Agad, Kilman, Todibo, Diouf, Bissaka, Ward-Prowse, Rodriguez, Paquetá, Fulkrug and Bowen. Sunderland haven't made any changes either in their red and white shirts and black shorts. Sunderland then in the second half will be playing from left to right. We're just waiting for Rob Jones, the referee, to get us underway. And there is the shrill of the whistle. And they have Roofs in goal. A back 4 of Hume, Silt, Ballard and Ronaldo, Sadiki, Xhaka and Diarra, Talby, Mayenda and Adingra. And 0-0 on BBC Radio 5 Live. And on Sports Extra, getting underway around now, will be Tottenham Hotspur against Burnley, where Spurs lead Burnley by a goal to 0. Brighton and Hove Albion 0, Fulham 0, and in the other game, the early game in the Premier League, Aston Villa 0, Newcastle United 0 was the full-time scoreline from Villa Park. Villa finishing the game with 10 men after Ezri Konsa had been sent off. So many supporters still filling the gangways and walking up and down the aisles here at the Stadium of Light on this bright sunny afternoon on Wearside, as Ballard takes the free kick midway through his own half on this near side to right and volleyed away by Gerd, then volleyed back by the other number 5 Ballard, and at the minute it won't come down onto the playing surface. And then it's a nice little deft touch by Jared Bowen, who's looked sharp towards Fulkrug, who stumbles and then loses the ball, and Sunderland will tidy the ball back towards their goalkeeper, who clears it long. Pat.
Quite common this has happened to Fulkrug in the game so far. You do not get time in the Premier League. So if you hold the ball up, you need to do something with it quickly, and he keeps on getting caught in the ball.
Jared Bowen out towards Wan-Bissaka. Right hand side level with the area, rolls it away. Ward-Prowse passes the ball infield. Wan-Bissaka with his back to the Sunderland goal for West Ham United, who committed again every player inside that Sunderland half. But as we were alluding to in the first half, you just can't help but feel that West Ham are still playing within themselves.
Yeah, you feel as if they could, add a little bit more to it, but you're not getting a burst of pace from Pakistan at all. Bowen's playing very well, but not getting enough service. Füllkrug, he just wants some service, something to go and attack, and he's just not getting it at all. And that's, the quality players up front that you expect to do something to West Ham. So yeah, there is more to come from them, but they need to decide to do it. And I just wonder, if you look at Potter, does he take a chance and think, right, that's enough. This is the team that's coming up. I'm going to make a couple of changes. I need to go and attack this game a little bit more. But it's hard to do it if you're playing three at the back and your two wing backs are getting nothing.
Well, there's certainly been no magic from Potter as yet, although they did win their last two away matches at the end of last season, Manchester United and Ipswich, but they were their only two wins in the last 11 games since the end of February. As the ball is played forward and Mayenda is after it into the penalty area, pulls it back from the edge of the byline, and the goalkeeper got something on it, and then Adingra arriving hurriedly stabs it well wide and out for a goal kick. Meanwhile, a goal in League One at Barnsley. Sani Radravajala.
Barnsley 1, Bolton 0. He's doing it for tired dads everywhere. 37-year-old David McGoldrick, ball over the top. Cool finish with his left foot from him. Barnsley 1, Bolton 0.
Looking for a third straight win for Barnsley to start the season, and I noticed that Bradford City have got a second goal against Luton Town. Bradford City 2, Luton Town 0. They've certainly started well under Graham Alexander, as Todibo will clear before Adingra can get there inside the penalty area. 0-0 it remains, and the referee has stopped play because I think there's a head injury for a Sunderland player who's down left-hand side on that far side. Let's get news of that goal at Valley Parade. John Bennett.
Yeah, Luton Town in trouble here. Bradford City 2, Luton Town 0. It was the local boy Bobby Poynton with his second league goal of the season from close range. Lovely cross from the right-hand side, and he made no mistake. Bradford City 2, Luton Town 0.
No other goals to report elsewhere around the country as yet, as there's this stoppage in play here, which means we can go to Tottenham and John Southall.
Tottenham 1, Burnley 0, 3 minutes into the second half. Corner on the right hand side here for Tottenham. They've started really brightly in this second 45 minutes, headed over the crossbar by Mickey van der Ven. Tottenham 1, Burnley 0.
This is going to be a lengthy stoppage. Jensen Sielt is the player who didn't half clatter into the ground with a real shudder. There's been a goal at Sheffield Wednesday. Mike Maine.
Stoke took 90 seconds in the first half, 30 seconds in the second half. Devin Mbama with a diving header in the 6-yard box put Stoke City 2-0 up.
Let's get an update from Brighton. Sahel Sahi.
It's been a bright start from Fulham in this second half. Still Brighton 0, Fulham 0, Ian, but a good move down the left-hand side, combining Iwobi and Josh King. King with the cross from the dead ball line. It was that put away by Verbruggen. He scrambled at the second attempt and just turned it around. Brighton 0, Fulham 0.
Silt is back on his feet. We'll get an update from Blackburn with Chris Coles.
Blackburn 0, Birmingham 0. A soporific first half, but encouragement in the second. Blackburn have started it well. A ball in on the right hand side, couldn't quite find the head of Ryan Hedges, but encouraging stuff. Blackburn 0, Birmingham 0.
Omar Alderete is warming up. Whether he's going to be required, it looks like he's going to be able to continue, Pat.
Yeah, it's one of those ones. Went up to head the ball, won the ball, but a little bit of a nudge, and he just fell right on his back. So coccyx or possibly L4, L5, really sore one, but I suspect he will run that off.
So play back underway, but Sunderland temporarily are down to 10. Granit Xhaka is filled in alongside Ballard at the back for Sunderland. West Ham United looking to take advantage. This is again in field, gets the ball back. Malik Diouf, haven't really seen much of that prowess that he's got for his crossing ability. Tries to link up with Rodriguez. He sweeps over the cross, headed away, and in fact he came back onto the pitch and then broke down once again, and the ball goes out of play. And you've really got to feel for this 22-year-old. He's had a stop-start career ever since he arrived from PSV Eindhoven. Only 17 appearances last season due to injury. An opportunity to try and stake his claim, and it looks, well, the fact that he's broken down so soon is a real painful one for him.
It's quite, more often than not, a player who goes down like that, it's a thud and it's a dun and it hurts. But if he's twisted on the way down, which I didn't think he did, but if he's twisted on the way down, that could have caused a little bit more damage. So, yeah, he doesn't feel as if he can move quick enough. And by the way, Adingra's a wee bit lucky there, because he wanted the game stopped and he's just wiped out. Was it Wan-Bissaka over on that far side there? But I think the referee's going to let him away with it.
Barnet are down to 10. Offenbach has been sent off. They're still trailing at home to Walsall by 2-1, and there's been another sending off, and the sending off is at Barnsley. Sani.
Yeah, Barnsley winning 1-0 against Bolton Wanderers, but Vimal Yoganathan is off. Second yellow card. He was stretching for the ball, caught his man in the middle, and he's got that second yellow, and he is going down the tunnel to boos from the away fans. Barnsley still leading, Barnsley 1, Bolton 0.
And there's been a goal at Ewood Park. Chris Coles.
Blackburn's bright start to the second half rewarded. They lead Birmingham 1-0. Todd Cantwell, the captain, with a crisp volley just inside the penalty area, arrowed into the bottom corner. Blackburn 1, Birmingham 0.
So Alderete is going to be coming on for Jensen Seelt. They sign him from Getafe for £10 million, and when Mukiele arrives tomorrow from Paris Saint-Germain, Sunderland will be closing in on that record of the biggest spenders of the newly promoted clubs, because I think eventually they're going to eclipse that record of Nottingham Forest of over £150 million from, what was it, 3 years ago. So Alderete comes on for his debut. He's right into the thick of the action in those red and white shirts that now will try and repel this free kick for West Ham United. Millwall 0, Middlesbrough 1 is the latest score in the Championship. Ward-Prowse to take the free kick, right hand side, drops inside the penalty area, and Sunderland should deal with this as we will go to McDermott Park and Ailey Barber.
Still goalless in the League Cup last 16 match between St Johnstone and Motherwell. Motherwell just winning a corner. They have been the dominant side throughout, just haven't created much in the final third. St Johnstone, they put on an extra striker to try and give themselves an opportunity to get up the pitch, but it is still St Johnstone 0, Motherwell 0.
We'll have news of Rangers against Alloa at 5:45. Partick are 2-0 up at home to Ayr United. Aberdeen lead at Green at Morton by 2-0, and St Mirren are 1-0 up against Hearts elsewhere in the Scottish League Cup. Play back underway then, 0-0, Pat Nevin, and that certainly hasn't helped the flow of the game, those 2 interruptions due to the injury to Silt.
You've taken the words out of my mouth. That's exactly what you didn't want if you're wanting an open game there, and certainly, well, nice little first touch there, I thought. Alderete, very calm in the ball.
Ball goes long, looking towards Mayenda, headed away by Kilman. Alderete is a Paraguayan international. 35 appearances for Getafe last season as they avoided the drop. He's a left-sided central defender, looked very comfortable in possession as we saw him there. No other goals elsewhere around the country as the referee gives a free kick to West Ham United, 0-0, a shake of the head from Pat Nevin.
Yeah, well, because the assistant referee was pointing the other way for the throw to go the wrong way, got it wrong. Unless he will now argue, he was flagging for a free kick as well. Again, it's just not really taken off at the moment, has it?
There's a penalty at Brighton, Sahel Sahi.
And it's Brighton who have the penalty. Matt O'Reilly, Ruta was fouled, it looked like it was a dive, and Matt O'Reilly converts, and Brighton have lift-off at the Amex. Brighton leading Fulham by 1-0. I'm not quite sure though. Want to watch a match of the day tonight, Ian. Brighton 1, Fulham 0.
A reminder as well that the highlights for every fixture will be available at 8 o'clock on the BBC iPlayer, the BBC Sport website and app. There won't be many highlights from this one at this rate. 0-0 it remains, 10 minutes into the second period. Wan-Bissaka's forward ball. There was Ballard, comes out early, gets too much underneath it, heads it away though still, but it's then picked up by West Ham United. So Brighton are ahead against Fulham. Spurs lead 1-0 at home to Burnley. It was 0-0 earlier at Villa Park. Here is Malik Diouf, just strokes the ball back, gets it back from Aguerd, Senegal international, now hits for a diagonal ball towards Jared Bowen, and Bowen just couldn't bring it down out of the sky, and it bounced through to the goalkeeper roofs.
Just a moment ago, the ball was played over the top to Mayenda, and again, he's got the pace of the defenders he's playing against. The problem is, there's loads of them. He's usually got 2, more often than not 3 marking them, and it's a real tough one for any striker. I mean, yeah, lots of strikers have to do it 1 against 2, 1 against 3. But at the moment, he's finding it really, really hard. He needs to make the perfect run, it needs to be the perfect ball. The West Ham defenders need to go to sleep. All those things have to happen for Mayenda to get through.
I'm aware that this is Sunderland's first Premier League season in 9 seasons. but when you look at the last 6 fixtures between these two, there is a pattern. A 1-0 home win for West Ham, but the last 3 meetings at Sunderland have all been drawn, and we do have a stalemate here in the sunshine. As Alderete at the back goes along the ground towards Ballard. Ballard then looks for the run of Diarra, and Diarra is onto it, latches onto it right-hand side, but very alert defending from Guido Rodriguez. The midfielder came back, snuffed out the threat, concedes the corner to Sunderland, still goalless.
He is the most dangerous player, Diarra. He's coming from that deep area, and he's got the pace of every midfielder he's playing against. He's going to run into centre backs, I understand that, but he keeps on making that run. He's finding a little bit of space, and you just get a feeling if anyone is going to break down that West Ham defence, it's that deep run from Diarra.
Newport County have equalised at Blundell Park. Grimsby Town 1, Newport County 1. Harrogate Town have got an equaliser at the Abbey Stadium, also in League 2. Cambridge United 1, Harrogate Town 1. You're up to date, 5 Live and the World Service, and of course BBC Sounds. If you haven't got the app, then do so. As the ball comes in from Hume, deep towards that far post, Ballard heads it over the top, no problem at all, well off target. Yeah, the BBC Sounds app will give you an opportunity to listen to 5 Live on the go, as well as give you access to those streams on Sports Extras 2 and 3.
Really surprised there, that ball once again. They've got a few corners so far, Sunderland, but they just lump it generally into the vague area of the 6-yard line. The thing is, they've not really got that much power in the air. I mean, Ballard's good, yeah, he'll go and attack it, but there's so many centre-backs and strong players, in that West Ham back line there. It's got to be something special or a major mistake. I'm surprised they don't take a few shorter just to ask a different question.
West Ham have been quite anemic, haven't they?
They're quite disappointing. I keep on looking down, and you wonder why they've not making any changes yet. They've not made any big efforts to get Paqueta into the game. He's not able to run away from players. When he does get a little bit of space, all the players beside him, Xhaka's marshalling them brilliantly. Just quietly killing the space that he wants to play there. And if you're killing the 10 out of the game, and you have 2 wing-backs that aren't producing anything, yes, anemic is the word.
Pat Nevin with us here on BBC Radio 5 Live. West Ham up towards Fulcrook, high off the chest, lays it off towards Malik Diouf, back with a German international, and then his ball is a wretched one, to be fair, left-footed, goes straight through towards the goalkeeper. Doncaster Rovers 1, Wycombe Wanderers 0, Cardiff City 2, Rotherham United 0 is a latest score also in League 1, as Sunderland play out from the back, and the ball is hit long. Mayenda takes a bit of a chance to try and make that run in behind Kilman, but Kilman gets there with a header, drops back towards Sunderland. This is Diarra with a shot! Left-footed over the top of the crossbar, goal kick, but listen to the response of the Sunderland supporters as we go to Tottenham and John Southall.
Tottenham 1, Burnley 0, but 2 Burnley chances. The first for Hannibal, unmarked in the penalty area, should have just hit it, dragged it back, it was too late. Then Jayden Anthony, 8 yards out, shot into the ground, saved by Vicario, good chance that. Tottenham 1, Burnley 0.
A moment of promise, Pat.
Yeah, and it's the same guy again, it's Diarra. He's the only one in Sunderland that's gone beyond players. It looks as if he's got something about him that he wants to go and take a little bit of a chance. So if this game does end up 0-0, my guess is that Match of the Day tonight will be doing a piece on Diarra.
Leyton Orient have got a goal back at home to Stockport County in League 1. Leyton Orient 1, Stockport County 2. Back to John, there's been another goal at Tottenham.
Wow, Tottenham 2, Burnley 0. Richarlison with his second of the game. What a finish this is. Cross from the right-hand side. Richarlison, 10 yards out, with the scissor kick into the bottom corner. Brilliant. Tottenham 2, Burnley 0.
Stadium of Lights in full voice. They haven't had yet a goal to cheer. Equally important from a Sunderland persuasion, they haven't had a goal that has left them in a state of despair as a cross comes in from that left-hand side, and it creeps in. Mayenda, Eliza Mayenda, with a looping header that sends the Stadium of Light into raptures. A hanging cross from the left-hand side, and Mayenda just headed it, and it crept past the despairing dive of Hermanson. Sunderland looking to make the perfect start, back in the big time after an absence of 8 years, and they lead by a goal to 0.
It is a brilliant header He should never have gone near it. They've got centre-backs all around them. They're all strong. You've got to get a little bit closer than that. Graham Potter will be absolutely fuming. That's not a dangerous ball. That's a ball that every defender should be able to go and attack. But he goes, he's just a little bit stronger there, and he just heads it back to where it comes from, and just bounces by the keeper right into the corner. And Sunderland have lift off, and I would suggest that was probably the least expected way you'd expect them to score. But they have 1-0 up. This should light the blue touch favour.
It was almost in slow motion, wasn't it?
Exactly. That's what I mean. It's not great power, but it's about technique. Get it in the right, heading it down. I mean, it's classic. It's, you know, page 1 of the header's book. Learn how to get it, hit it back to where it came from, and hit it down. It makes it difficult for the goalkeepers. He has done that perfectly. He has worked tirelessly all afternoon. He's had one opportunity, and he's taken it.
He got the equaliser in the playoff final against Sheffield United some 84 days ago. He's just marked his 50th appearance with Sunderland's first goal on their return to the Premier League. And listen to the noise inside the Stadium of Light. And West Ham United, well, what have they got in terms of a response? Cross was a deep one, and Mayenda got on the end of it. Here is Rodriguez. Malik Diouf battling for the ball, wins it. Paquetá challenged quickly, ball picked up by Roos. Now all of a sudden Sunderland have got something to protect. 63 minutes in, they lead by a goal to nil. After Sports Report, with the results and the reaction to come with Mark Chapman, we're to Molineux, where with the team news, Wolves against Manchester City is John Murray.
Well, Wolves give a Premier League debut from the start to left wing-back David Müller-Wulfer, but the other summer signings, Fer Lopez and John Arias, are subs. Bellegarde and Munetsi start. As for Manchester City, James Trafford starts the season in goal. Ederson is not involved. There are other Premier League debuts for Tishani Reinders, and against his former club, Ryan Ait-Nouri, and Ryan Shirky's on the bench for City.
Chris Powell alongside John, commentary at 5:30 before 6:06. Chris Sutton and Aaron Paul will be taking your calls. The way it's going, there will be a number of delighted Sunderland supporters calling to 0808590 and 693, but many a West Ham fan who will not be happy with this performance.
No, they shouldn't be. They've not created enough in the places where they would expect to be strong, and now they're in the impossible position of they have to push on a little bit. They have to play high up the pitch, and their defenders are nowhere near as quick as the attackers that are playing against. Mayende maybe particularly, but also we know Diarra coming from slightly deep, so real problems just now for West Ham.
Cardiff City 3, Rotherham United 0, Shrewsbury 0, Colchester United 1 is the latest score in League 2. Malik Diouf, a little bit more urgency now from West Ham United. Paquetá, Ward-Prowse, man over is Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka's first time cross, blocked by Ronaldo. We'll go to Brighton, Sahel Sahi.
Still Brighton 1, Fulham 0. Matt O'Reilly, the goal that separates the sides from the penalty spot. Fulham have had 2 penalty shouts turned away. Marco Silva, their manager, is livid. Brighton 1, Fulham 0.
Granit Xhaka has gone down, so there's a stoppage in play. It was Manchester City in August 2010. Is in fact, I'm just going to break off because there is applause here now around the Stadium of Light in memory of Donna Weir. She was a dedicated matchday steward at the Stadium of Light. She sadly passed away this week, and so the applause is to acknowledge what is a fitting tribute to her invaluable contribution to the club, somebody who was extremely popular around the Stadium of Light on a match day. So that's in memory of Donna Weir. Sunderland lead by a goal to nil, and they've drawn 9 and lost 8 of those matches in the month of August in the Premier League since that last win 15 years ago. Still a lot of time to go though in this game as Todibo comes forward. Sunderland have dropped off. Todibo comes forward now. He's allowed to advance 25 yards out from goal. Gets it towards Bowen. Back it goes towards Todibo. In comes the cross. Xhaka is still unable to actually join the action after his treatment, but he's now back on the field of play, and there's another goal at Tottenham. John Southall.
It's all over now. Tottenham 3, Burnley 0. Brennan Johnson with the finish, just dinked it past the goalkeeper into the right-hand corner. Tottenham 3, Burnley 0.
Tranmere Rovers lead Gillingham by 1-0 in League Two. Sunderland are 1-0 up here at the Stadium of Light. Brighton still lead Fulham by 1-0. Diarra with a teasing ball in. Tadebo's cross strikes his own player, Kilman. Adingra actually couldn't see the ball because of the sunlight. He actually backed away from the ball to try and get a better sight of it. Now the cross comes in from the left by Adingra, fired in, headed out by Kilman. Sunderland now with Ronaldo out towards Adingra once more. Siddiqui is up there in attack with him if he wants him. Talby gets it back, doubled up on that far side, the left. Now with Granit Xhaka, looks for the run of Adingra, cut out by Wan-Bissaka inside his area, lifts it away. Hume tucked in, tries to get it back. Paquetá's header forward. Alderete tidies it up and goes back. Sunderland look very, very good.
Suddenly the confidence, what a difference it makes when you score a goal. Fabulous confidence about the team now, passing it well. And watching players like Talby, who limited involvement beforehand, he wants to be playmaker now. They have all just lifted their game.
This is a player who last season, incidentally, played in the Champions League for Bruges, so he'd have come up against Manchester City and Celtic and Aston Villa, one of the many debutants in this Sunderland side, as Ronaldo looks for the run of Adingra, and it'll be scooped up by Hermansen. Lincoln City 3, Plymouth 0, Stevenage 1, Northampton Town 0, and latest scores in League One as we go to Hillsborough in the Championship. Mike Minay.
Sheffield Wednesday 0, Stoke City 2. It stays that way thanks to the saves of the Stoke goalkeeper Victor Johansson, who's had a double save about 5 minutes ago, and then he's just tipped Barry Bannon's bicycle kick around the post as well. Sheffield Wednesday 0, Stoke City 2.
Sunderland here leading by 1-0. Leicester City have got an equaliser at Deepdale. Preston North End 1, Leicester City 1. They came from behind against Sheffield Wednesday actually last weekend to win. They might be harbouring similar hopes at Deepdale. News of that goal to come from Will Perry. West Ham are looking for an equaliser. Wan-Bissaka midway through the Sunderland half right hand side. Tadebo edging his way forward. Wan-Bissaka. Sunderland have got every red and white striped shirt back behind the ball, still in the sunshine that covers still well over half of the playing surface here at the Stadium of Light, and there's no way through. Tadebo is just safely ushered out of play for a Sunderland throw. Update from Brighton, Sahel Sahi.
20 minutes to play, still Brighton 1, Fulham 0. Really it should be Brighton 2, Fulham 0. They pounced on the counter-attack. Matoma fed Minter and he blazed over 8 yards away. The goal was at his mercy. Brighton 1, Fulham 0.
Thomas Souček is going to be coming on. Callum Wilson is going to be coming on. I wonder what sort of reception the former Newcastle striker might receive.
I think he would love to score today, but I mean, he's got a number of players he could take off here. And by the way, a little bit more. Whoa! He's pulled him back there.
Max Kilman pulling back.
There's a yellow
Diarra,
card.
Maenda rather, and it's going to be a yellow card. So Kilman is booked. Ward-Prowse is going to be going off. Rodriguez is going to be going off. Sunderland have got a free kick left-hand side of the penalty area. I should point out as well that Callum Wilson has got a habit of scoring on his debut. He scored on his Bournemouth debut against Huddersfield. He scored on his Newcastle debut, funnily enough, against West Ham. And he also scored on his England debut against the United States. And there are the boos and jeers, predictably, for a former Newcastle player here on Wearside.
They'll have to change it a little bit. Maybe Bowen comes a little bit further back. You get Callum Wilson to play up front. Natural goal scorer. And they're making these changes now very unusually at a free kick. You know, a free kick that they're defending. And it's one of those ones in football. It's a very rare thing to see, to make one change, but 2 changes when you're up against a very dangerous free kick that's going to be put into a dangerous area from out wide.
Sunderland free kick then. They're leading by 1-0 here. They've only got one in the wall, so it's Jared Bowen just standing there for Hermansen. He might be joined now by Wan-Bissaka. It'll be Hume who's going to just try and whip this ball in. West Ham United have got everybody back. In the sunshine on that far side, the left. It's an in-swinging ball now, and Hermansen, who with that goal that he's conceded, 1 clean sheet now in 29 in the after his record last season for Leicester City. Molly Stevens at Swansea in the Championship.
Swansea 1, Sheffield United 0. Finally a breakthrough, and they've had to be patient. Numerous chances for the Swans, and finally Ronald puts it into the back of the net, low in the bottom right hand corner. Swansea 1, Sheffield United 0.
Thanks, Molly. Terrible start for Sheffield United after the hammering that they took at the home of the Bristol City last weekend, and then 1-0 down there in South Wales. Adingra's going to be going off and Lefay is going to be coming on, so Sunderland are going to make a change.
They could make it here if it's from a corner kick, but Adingra is playing actually much better now. He's getting a little bit more space, so he'll be gutted going off.
Wimbledon have got a second goal at Reading in League One. Reading 0, Wimbledon 2. Sunderland voices on what could be a happy return to the Premier League. They have a corner kick in a very crowded 6-yard area. Rob Jones, the referee, is just waiting for a delay for the corner. He's just having a word. There's Ballard there. Todibo is trying to keep a handle on him. People jostling. In it comes now. Lifted in. Hermansen gets something on it with a right-handed punch. Adingra's last touch is to play the ball to Ronaldo. And Ronaldo then decides to dart forward, back out towards Adingra. Diarra is also there. It's the Ivorians' cross, and the header is in! It is Ballard! Dan Ballard is going to ensure the perfect start for Sunderland back in the Premier League. A well-placed header. Sunderland 2, West Ham United 0.
Well-placed header. It's an absolute stormer of a header, you're right. He guided it, but once again, nobody near him. Absolutely awful defending. It's the simplest thing you do. You've got 3 centre-backs in there. Make sure everybody picks up a man. Ballard has stayed up from the previous cross in there. And I think Adingra was just about to come off. I think he's happy he didn't come off before that, because he did down the right-hand side there. And it is a beautiful ball in, not from the byline, from deep, maybe 20 yards out, right to the back post, and an absolutely stunning header into that corner there. Well, lots to do for West Ham now, but Sunderland can celebrate.
Everybody will remember his dramatic header against Coventry City that ensured that they went to Wembley for the playoff final. So 2 players who had such a pivotal role in getting Sunderland promoted when it mattered most in the playoffs have delivered with 2-headed goals, and with now some 16 minutes remaining, Sunderland are leading West Ham United by 2-0, and all of that angst in August in previous Premier League campaigns has been blown away as Sunderland now lead 2-0. Back to Hillsborough in the Championship, Mike Minay.
Well, Stoke City now have a third, a second for Manhoff, teed up by Sorba Thomas on the left. He bundled it past the goalkeeper on the right of the goal. He's since been substituted, but it will be 2 wins for 2 for the Potters at the start of the campaign. Sheffield Wednesday 0, Stoke City 3.
As promised a few minutes ago, I mentioned that Leicester equaliser. News of it from Will Perry.
Yeah, Preston 1, Leicester 1. Jeremy Monga with a low finish into the bottom left-hand corner to beat his former teammate Daniel Everson. 16 years old. I'm going to make you feel very old, all of you. Born on the 10th of July 2009. What a day for him. Preston 1, Leicester 1.
Thank you for doing that, Will. 2 changes actually for Sunderland. Lefay is going to be coming on for Simon Adingra. He's a very popular player, Enzo Lefay, who was on loan last season. They've since signed him on a permanent basis because they triggered a clause for £19.3 million. And Wilson Isidore is going to be coming on. Isidore replacing Mayenda in attack for Sunderland, who I've got to say, Pat, deserve it.
They do. I mean, certainly since they scored the goal, they've been the better team. And although they've just left one man up front, they have attacked in the wide areas. You know, particularly from Diarra, has come time and time again. But you've got to put the ball in the box a few times, and they've done that twice and scored 2 goals. And you look at West Ham. When's the last time they put a good delivery in from right or left? It's just not happened.
Bromley 2, Fleetwood Town 1. So Bromley could be ending Fleetwood's winning start to the season. Been a good week for Andy Woodman and his team after knocking out Ipswich in the League Cup in midweek. But Sunderland 2-0 up, and we've got about 13 minutes of normal time remaining here at the Stadium of Light. Such is the noise, I'm unable to find out where we're going next. And in fact, a bellow from the studio will tell me that it is Matt Newsom at Castleford.
Yes, not quite so energetic here. Leeds Rhinos, though, have really put Castleford to the sword. 10 tries so far this afternoon. Jake Connor and Brodie Croft, the latest to add to that scoreline, is 58 points to nil.
There's been a few Sunderland fans bellowing here this afternoon, I can tell you, as Wan-Bissaka with a cross from the right-hand side. Again, Sunderland's attitude absolutely first class. Quick, two players to close them down and get a block in, and it goes out for a corner kick to Wan-Bissaka. A reminder to myself that I've got to give you all the latest scores in the various divisions, which we'll be doing very, very soon as we wind our way up towards Sports Report at 5 with all the results. We'll try and bring you as much live reaction as we can before we go to Molineux in our next commentary. Wolves against Manchester City. As Jared Bowen waits to take the corner, it's an in-swinger. Fisted away by Roofs, fired back in by Juve. Took a deflection on its way through. Corner kick, West Ham.
Possibly his best moment of the game so far. He's caught that really well. It's on the half volley. He's stinging towards the goal there, but it has taken a little bit of a deflection. And now the West Ham have got the likes of Soucek on. They can go and hammer the ball in now. This is a tough one for the goalkeeper. It's going to come right out of the sun. I'm slightly surprised they're not doing a bending ball in towards him. They're trying an outside instead.
It is Malik Diouf. Didn't even beat the first man, and it's gone behind for a goal kick. So our first commentary of this new season at the Stadium of Light. Then we're at Molineux at 5:30. Tomorrow at Stamford Bridge and then Old Trafford with Nottingham Forest Brentford on Sports Extra from 2 o'clock. 5 Live, still the home of Premier League football on the radio. This the first of 4 years with more Premier League commentaries than ever before. And don't forget as well, we're back at the Stadium of Light next Friday night as well, the opening match of the Women's Rugby World Cup, the Rugby Union World Cup, England against the United States, with Rachel Burden presenting here inside the stadium. Scotland, a small matter of Wales next Saturday afternoon, Pat, for you in Salford.
Kind of look forward to that. Just having a look at the way they're trying to line up here. They won't change, will they, West Ham? They'll still get the 3 centre-backs who are marking 1 striker.
They've lost the ball, and it's played through now towards Talby. Just couldn't help it into its path for Siddiqui, who is coming forward from the midfield. Sunderland still creating a threat, leading by 2-0. West Ham have been powder puff in comparison. Latest scores in the Scottish League Cup then. Greenock Morton 0, Aberdeen 2, Partick Thistle 2, Ayr United 0, St Johnstone 0, Motherwell 0, St Mirren 1, Hearts 0, Rangers Alloa kicks off at 5:45. The results in League 2, Chesterfield 3, Bristol Rovers 1, Oldham 1, Swindon Town 2. Chesterfield and Crewe looking to make 3 wins out of 3, or for Crewe to join Chesterfield in making it 3 wins out of 3, and Crewe still lead Crawley by 1-0 at Gresty Road. The latest scores elsewhere: Barnet 1, Walsall 2, Barrow lead Notts County by 1-0. They had previously lost both of their games at Barrow, so that could be their first points of this new season. Cambridge 1, Harrogate Town 1, Grimsby 1, Newport County 1. MK Dons lead Cheltenham by 4-0 as a cross comes in from Kilman. Drops inside the penalty area. Rinaldo is there and will volley the ball to safety. Salford 2, Accrington 0, Shrewsbury 0, Colchester 1. Shrewsbury down to 10 men, and Tranmere Rovers still lead Gillingham by 1-0. Pat Nevin.
And once again, all backs to the wall now. It's just what's going to happen. The problem West Ham have got, any breaks look so dangerous for them because the pace is still there, and they've brought in more pace with Isidore. He looks sharp up front as well.
Here's Talby, just touches it. Here is Granit Xhaka, slows it down, uses that years of experience from the Swiss international, and Alderete comes forward from the heart of that Sunderland defence, and then they keep the ball, pass it around over on that far side, the left. Plymouth Argyle have got a goal back, Lincoln 3, Plymouth 1. We'll get an update from St Johnstone with Ailey.
Still goalless here, Ian, as the Championship side holding on against their Premiership opponents, Motherwell, but it is Motherwell who've had the better of the chances. The game has opened up a little as we head into the final 25 minutes, so wonder what will happen here. It will be played to a finish, extra time and penalties to come. St Johnstone 0, Motherwell 0.
Thanks, Ailey. I can tell you that Aberdeen have got a 3rd goal at Greenock Morton. Ball played forward towards Callum Wilson, and he can't bring it under control. Mentioned that Plymouth have got a goal back. MK Dons, incidentally, in League 2 are 5-0 up at home to Cheltenham. These are the latest. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll give you the 2 results in League 1 earlier. Burton 0, Port Vale 0, Exeter 1, Mansfield 2. So a first win for the season for Nigel Clough and his team. Latest scores: Barnsley 1, Bolton 0. Barnsley, though, are down to 10 men, as are Blackpool, who are still leading Huddersfield by 3-2. All the goals came in the first half. Bradford City's excellent start to their League One campaign continues. They lead Luton Town 2-0. First goals that Luton have conceded this season. Cardiff 3, Rotherham 0, Doncaster 1, Wycombe 1, Leyton Orient 1, Stockport County 2, Lincoln 3, Plymouth 1, Reading 0, Wimbledon 2, Stevenage 2, Northampton 0 and Wigan 2, Peterborough United 0. Todibo has gone off and Irving is coming on for West Ham. So that's a midfielder for a defender, so they'll probably go to a flat back four.
Yeah, but how long's that taken? I mean, you're talking there's 8 or 9 minutes left now. You're 2-0 down. When you're going that direction and it wasn't working at all, you would expect that to have happened a lot quicker than it has now.
It'll be just 5 wins from 20 games in charge from Graham Potter. His points ratio actually was slightly less than the man he replaced, Lopetegui, last season. That's how underwhelming it was for West Ham United supporters. Still got to give you the championship scores as well. We've got 7 minutes remaining. We're going to nip though to Tottenham and John Southall.
Where Tottenham lead Burnley by 3-0. They're cruising as well. Solanke on the turn could have made it 4, shot wide, but Thomas Frank is heading for his first win. Tottenham 3, Burnley 0.
That game is on Sports Extra, which is a new feature for the new season, that we're going to give you 2 choices of commentary at 3 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon, as Talby is released on this near side. The guard comes across and deals with it, passes the ball forward towards Malik Diouf, and now this is Irving, who was quickly closed down by the desire, which is still coursing its way through these Sunderland supporters, Pat Nevin.
Yeah, and to be honest, what a lift you get. You're probably feeling a little bit tired when it was 0-0. As soon as you get the first goal, you've got a real burst of adrenaline there, and every single player in red and white stripes there is chasing everything, closing down and feeling on top of the world right now.
The ball scooped forward by Paquetá. Alderete meets it, heads it away. Sunderland back in possession. Hume then almost gave it away, won it back, then lost it a second time. This is Irving now for West Ham. 6 minutes remaining of normal time, but West Ham United are 2-0 down. Bowen on the right-hand side, looks for the run of Wan-Bissaka, tries to help it on its path, and it goes behind for a corner kick. A former hammer in Frank Lampard was against his former club earlier, and it was a good win for Coventry City in what was a real humdinger of a game. Derby County 3, Coventry City 5 was a result. Portsmouth 1, Norwich City 2, and the other result was Wrexham 2, West Bromwich Albion 3. In comes the corner from West Ham. Bowen heads it goalwards. Might have struck his own player in Souček. Sunderland get the ball away. Latest scores in the Championship. Blackburn lead Birmingham by 1-0. Bristol City 0, Charlton 0. Millwall 0, Middlesbrough 1. Preston 1, Leicester City 1. Sheffield Wednesday 0, Stoke City 3. Swansea leads Sheffield United by 1-0. As the ball comes to the edge of the area for Bowen, and Ballard was there, and Souček down into the ground, easily saved by Roos, the goalkeeper. And Watford 2, Queen's Park Rangers 1 is another latest score in the Championship. Pat,
what you'd notice usually, a team coming up, you're 2-0 with a bit of tension about the stadium. There hasn't been much actually. You look quite comfortable at the moment. However, if West Ham score here, that'll all change.
It would set up a very, very nervy finish. Not that you would think that West Ham could conjure up a goal on the evidence of what we've seen so far in these 85 minutes, as the ball goes out to Malik Diouf. Then he sends in that cross from a deep position, and it goes long and curls all the way out of play for a goal kick.
Do we know why he doesn't put the crosses in there? Because they're terrible, that one. He's got plenty of space there. He's got a good angle to put it in, and it just flies miles over the top of all the players and straight out of play. It's not what you want from your wide attacking players. They must be able to deliver.
Luton Town have got a goal back at Valley Parade. Bradford City 2, Luton Town 1, and will stay in Yorkshire because there's been a goal, but from west to south, and Sani Ravagula.
Bolton have managed to equalise. A corner, a scramble, and substitute John McAtee stabbing home. 5 to go. Barnsley 1, Bolton 1.
Sports Report with Mark Chapman. On the way here on BBC Radio 5 Live with 4 minutes remaining. Wilson just tries to roll away from Ballard, but Ballard is back at it. And then there was a foul there by Hume on Wilson. They want to take it quickly. But one has to ask the question. They're showing a little bit of urgency now, West Ham, but where was it for the preceding Well, when did they concede the first goal? 61 minutes. Where was it for the first hour?
It's a very, very good point indeed. As if they were playing and comfortable, hoping for a draw and maybe the odd break. But there was nobody really apart. And I have to say that Bourne will always give you it. But around them, it just seemed a lack of energy and a lack of fitness in comparison to the other younger side.
West Ham then 2-0 down. Have got a free kick. It's about 8 yards in from the left touch line. They're playing from right to left. They're in the shadows of this main stand. And Irving is going to take it. Malik Diouf is in close proximity if he wants to play it short down the line, but he does work over the cross. Oh, that's a very good save, because it was a reaction header. And it was Robin Roofs with a fingertip save from underneath the crossbar to turn it over.
I'll try to see if it was Callum Wilson who actually got his head on that. But they finally put a good ball into a decent area where a centre-forward can go and attack it. He does attack it. And of course, it's come out. It's not Wilson, it's the defender's back maybe. That would argue make it an even better save.
It really was a wicked deflection from the resulting corner kick. Roofs again gets something on it. Talby then just touches the ball. And there's a break now. Isidore up towards Talby. Going through the middle, Sunderland trying to take the game still towards West Ham United, despite the 2-goal cushion that they have. 2.5 minutes, and then they play the ball back. There's been a late goal at Deepdale. Will Perry.
Have Preston won this late on? Preston 2, Leicester 1. Superb small ball in from the left-hand side, and there was Osmajic. First time finish past Stolarczyk. 87 on the clock. Preston 2, Leicester 1.
And news of that Luton Town late goal I told you about from John Bennett.
Yeah, nervous times now for Bradford City. Bradford City 2, Luton Town 1. Gideon Kadoa with the header into the back of the net. 2 minutes now for Bradford City to hang on. Bradford City 2, Luton Town 1.
Also in League One, Reading have got a late goal. They've reduced the arrears. Reading 1, AFC Wimbledon 2 is the latest score. West Ham United have got a goal kick. We've got under 2 minutes remaining of normal time here at the Stadium of Light. Pat Nevin.
Yeah, and how Callum Wilson, more than anyone else, would like to get a goal here. He's getting into all the right positions, so they've actually started putting the ball in there. But he must think to himself, I've got a chance of getting games here, because no one else has looked dangerous when West Ham have been attacking. But there is always the argument they were getting very, very little service. They just looked strangely unexcited and uninterested, which shouldn't be the case in the first day of the season.
West Ham with Souček, the substitute, turns Agard on this near side, back then with Paquetá, plays it out towards Wan-Bissaka. Plymouth, who were 3-2 down at Lincoln City, are down to 10 men as they go in search of a late equaliser. Colchester have got a second goal at Shrewsbury. Shrewsbury 0, Colchester United 2 in League 2. Isidore was almost away there for Sunderland, but it was stopped out towards Wan-Bissaka, clips over the cross. The header easily claimed as it comes in by Robin Roofs. And that was from Fulkrug, no real power on it, easily dealt with.
At least they're asking a couple of questions now, but it's so late to be able to do that now. And yeah, they're getting plenty of players forward, and it looks actually a little bit better from West Ham since they've gone to a back four. But the discussion has to be, what kept you? What took you so long to do that? Because, now they're asking questions, now they're getting much of the ball, now they're getting players into the last third wide, and they can go and put it in there.
Remember, the last 2 seasons, all 3 promoted clubs immediately relegated. Previously it had only happened once in Premier League history, and not since 97-98. This would just give everybody a lift, and bearing in mind they've got Burnley away next weekend, Brentford at home and Crystal Palace away, the significance, Pat, of getting 3 points on the board on your opening fixture.
It's phenomenal, and also the lift to the players. Immediately they'll think, we're okay here, we can live at this level.
7 minutes have added on time. Roofs spills the ball at the far post. Play continues, and it'll be a West Ham corner kick again in that challenge of Diarra, who responds and turns to whip up the crowd. There's been a late goal at Millwall. Joshua Adu-Donker.
Millwall 0, Borough 2. Alfie Jones has still scored the points for Borough. A corner from the right hand side from Hackney, and Jones was there to poke it home. Millwall 0, Borough 2.
So corner kick for West Ham United. Those 7 minutes might just give them a glimmer of hope. Paquetá with the out-swinging corner, but nothing comes of it. And the break now is with Talby, who's just got to wait for the red and white striped shirts to join him. And Isidore is the one who's gone forward and run into space, and nobody's tracked the run there of Isidore. And he enters the penalty area and shoots, and he seals it. Wilson Isidore seals it for Sunderland. It is a dream start after 8 years away from the Premier League. But where was the West Ham United defence on what has been a sorry start for the Hammers? But that's nailed it for Sunderland, 3-0.
Well, first of all, what a brilliant finish. Defending is actually not working so bad. Some players are trying to step out, others are going back there. It's all over the place, it's a shambles. But that can happen when you're pushing players on. But he's miles outside, and I'm thinking to myself, most players take it into the corner, kill the time, win the game. Actually, better if in doubt, put it in the bottom corner. He's done exactly that. What a great finish. Nobody here, no Sunderland fans thought they could win this game 3-0 before they are cruising now.
They are cruising.
By the way, the goalkeeping, he will not want to see that again. It's gone straight through him. It's absolutely awful.
Well, a reminder that all the highlights of every fixture at 8 o'clock available on the BBC iPlayer, the BBC Sport website and app, but Pat has absolutely nailed it. Hermansen gets, well, he does get near it, just doesn't deal with it. Late goal meanwhile at Ewood Park in the Championship. Straight to Chris Coles.
A 90th minute equaliser for Birmingham City. Jay Stansfield from the penalty spot. Laird fouled. Stansfield found the corner. Blackburn 1, Birmingham 1 into 11 minutes of added on time.
Chris Riggers come on for Talby. Salford City 2, Accrington Stanley 1. Bromley 2, Fleetwood Town 2. So Fleetwood Town have got an injury time equaliser. And Notts County have got themselves a late goal. Barrow 1, Notts County 1. So, sheer delight for Sunderland. Real despair for West Ham.
It is very concerning for West Ham because there's just been a lack of spark all over the pitch. Tactically, it's not looked right either. And you just wonder, is there enough energy around in this West Ham side just now? OK, it's very early in the season, but there's very few pass marks in that entire team just now, is there? I mean, again, I do talk about the wide players. It's not because I'm picking them out, other than the fact that if you play 3-5-2 or any version of that, the wide players are absolutely the most important players. They've got to give you answers. They've got to go and stretch teams. They've got to get to the bylanes. They've got to put good crosses in. Nothing. Absolutely nothing from those areas. And, you know, they might say there's nothing in the box to aim at, but there was. I mean, West Ham fans just now will be very concerned with us.
Well, they'll have travelled in great number. The way that the roof here hangs so low, we're unable to actually see a large part of that top tier away towards our left. I can make out there's a lot of empty red seats where they would have been in this near side. But the West Ham fans will not be happy. They've got an opportunity, of course, to vent their feelings to Chris Sutton and Aaron Paul on 6:06 after our next commentary, which is coming after Sports Report, which is Wolves against Manchester City. 08085 909 693. Tottenham have beaten Burnley by 3-0. So Thomas Frank's first game in charge in the Premier League is off to a winning start. Bradford City, incidentally, have hung on. They have beaten Luton Town by 2-1. Barnet 1, Walsall 2. All the results, all the reaction coming up in Sports Report very, very soon. But they're now doing the Olays. And Sunderland, who, knowing this region as I do, I think there was an air of optimism. But you'd have had to be one of the most optimistic Sunderland supporters to think you're going to win your opening game 3-0.
Absolutely, and I would say even before the first goal was scored, there's plenty of people in here who would have taken the draw, because there wasn't a huge amount, and one or two players coming from deep looked a little bit more dangerous, but there wasn't a huge amount. However, after that first goal, which was a defensive mistake, even though it was a good header, they have grown so much. The problem for West Ham, they ain't grown at all. They've not improved massively.
West Ham have a free kick, and it goes to the penalty area, aimed towards Fulcrum, cleared away. Irving will retrieve it inside the centre circle. Gillingham have got an injury time equaliser at Tranmere Rovers. Tranmere 1, Gillingham 1. Bowen with a volley, blocked. Still Sunderland with Ballard, who epitomises everything about this Sunderland side, putting bodies on the line with the block. Leyton Orient have equalised late. Leyton Orient 2, Stockport County 2 in League 1. In comes a cross, caught by Robin Roos.
think they quite like the new goalkeeper, don't they?
3 points, 3 goals and a clean sheet. Doesn't get much better.
Dream start, absolute dream start. And he's had a couple of very good saves. One particular one in the second half there from either a header or a deflection, and he put over the crossbar. But everyone, I stopped there because one of the most ridiculous dives you'll ever see there. I think the phrase is in 606, Chris Rigg, you're better than that.
Yes, Chris Rigg was the player who dived forward in a desperate attempt to get a decision in his favour. Brighton and Hove Albion 1, Fulham 0, but there's been a late goal. Sahel Sahi.
Fulham has snatched a point at the death. It's Brighton 1, Fulham 1. A cross from Harry Wilson from the corner. It ran through the penalty area, and Rodrigo Muniz, who's been tipped to leave the club, slammed it home left-footed. He's celebrated in front of the Fulham supporters. Brighton 1, Fulham 1.
As a Premier League side, Sunderland haven't won on the opening day in any of the last 7 seasons. 2009, a 1-0 win away at Bolton thanks to an early goal from Darren Bent. Back in the Premier League after 8 years and 87 days. They are going to very, very soon get that winning feeling, as the deafening roar will tell you. And it has been not only a deserved win, it has been a dominant performance from Sunderland in the second half, but for West Ham United, worrying.
Yeah, I'm looking at Sunderland just now. They played very well in that last half hour particularly. The one thing to underline, they will get better as they get used to this league. As these young players grow and believe in themselves and age and get experience, they will get better. You think West Ham will get better? I'm not convinced by that.
Well, Sunderland might still add more players to Mukulele, who's going to be confirmed tomorrow. Been the perfect start. 3 points, 3 goals and a clean sheet. It's finished here at the Stadium of Light. After those goals for Sunderland from Mayenda, Ballard and Isidore. Sunderland 3, West Ham United 0.